We got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, right now in the NBA landscape. Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving has requested a trade ahead of the deadline, ladies and gentlemen. This is serious breaking news right now. We have trouble in Brooklyn. It's trouble in paradise. Truth be told with you, this situation never really, got to where it needed to be. It was a multitude of different things. Bottom line, if you've been living under a rock, Kyrie Irving, he trying to get paid. I think right now Kyrie Irving is sick and tired of what's going on, with the situation. He played nice, he said it's in Brooklyn's hands. It's in Brooklyn's hands. But hey, let me tell you something, man. I think he was just sticking it to Brooklyn, letting them know, yo, y'all better play right, otherwise I'm out of here. So this is a crazy, nasty situation, y'all. He has informed the Nets he would prefer a move ahead of the February 9th deadline. And we ain't nothing but, 6 days, 5? He ain't giving much notice. I love this situation. I hope the New York Knicks, I understand. It's going to be crazy. He's going to have takers. You got an all-star starter. So people are going to go after Kyrie Irving. He ain't about to just go completely it's over with for him. Nah, that's not going to happen. Not with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving will be picked up, by somebody. Somebody's going to put a haul down for him. I don't know about a haul, but they're going to attempt to. Brooklyn's going to look for a haul. Somebody might be able to get him for cheap, but his talent is just so immense. How is Brooklyn going to get equal compensation? I think they might either hold on to him, let him walk in free agency. They're not giving him the max contract. Kyrie Irving want to go to a place where it's going to give him the max deal. We just got to point that out. Let me know if my connection is good too as well. Let me know if y'all having any trouble hearing me out, because this is a serious news report right now. Chicago's in a tough spot. There's no Lonzo. Obviously, I want Lonzo Ball there. People need guards. What about the Lakers? Listen, people are going to be able to get this guy for the low. And what Kyrie Irving just did was he completely stripped the Brooklyn Nets of leverage. So it's almost like you got to give them away now. You got to just throw them away. This is going to be a tough situation to find out how Brooklyn is going to play this situation. But bottom line, Kyrie Irving wants out of the Brooklyn Nets. This Kevin Durant situation, they brought in Harden. Harden wanted out. Kyrie wanted out. Kevin Durant up. He wanted out and then he reneged. There's so much going on with Brooklyn. It's like, to be honest with you, they should have went to New York. And at the time when all of them were hooking up, between, going to New York. First, it was just New York is the destination. They going to New York. We just didn't know where. Was it going to be Brooklyn or was it going to be New York? These fools elected, mind you, the Knicks had everything in position for them. They wanted to stick it to the New York Knicks, who literally was the better organization. They maybe at the time on paper it looked like they wasn't. And Brooklyn, they went to the postseason with some insularity, no names, and then look now. It's just crazy. They should have went to the Knicks where they would have had much more structure under Leon Rose, much more structure under Tom Thibodeau. Look who was coaching them, Steve Nash. Steve Nash was out there just BSing. Steve Nash can't coach. So he never coached a day in his life. You got these guys, these are strong personalities. These guys are just running roughshod over the organization. That's just what's happening. But this is about money. This is about the bag, cha-ching, dollars, cash, moolah, green. That's what this is about, y'all. Maximum dollars is on the table. There's teams that will offer the max, period. There will be a team. Listen, and it's so crazy. You look at the Myers Leonard situation. You see him trying to get back in the league. This is a classic case of what are you worth? Risk reward. High risk, high reward. Shout out Ed Carter. Kyrie said he didn't need a coach. See, that's what I'm saying. Of course, he don't need a coach. You think they listening to these dudes and they X's and O's? Some of these players. How you gonna coach Kevin Durant? Do you think Darvin Ham is out there really drawing up plays for LeBron James? Maybe they have situational things they running, But for the most part, these guys are going out there running a free offense. There ain't no plays getting ran. That's over. That happened in college. The only time they doing that really is with a young team. And even with young teams, they're allowing these guys to figure it out. So, it's just a mess, man. Where will Kyrie Irving land? I think is the $1 million question. But the request just came out. It sent the basketball world in a frenzy. It seems like here we go again. Mind you, Sham Charania put this out. Said is one more move that needs to be made, to get them to a championship team. Kyrie just pointing this out. You could probably get this dude for the cheap. Shout out Pookie Man12. Do you think the Hornets have the pieces to pair Kyrie with LaMelo Ball? Let me tell you something. It's time to think outside the box. Shout out Pookie Man12. I think so. Listen, Kyrie just requested the trade. This is not nothing that they did under the table. Kyrie just destroyed their leverage, and now they're gonna have to fast track this move. If they do it. Brooklyn, they might go. I don't know. I know what they're thinking. They in contact and communication with Kevin Durant. And like, yo, listen, can you talk to him? Can you talk to him? See what's going on. I know that's the first case scenario that they're gonna pull. And then from there, it's all about, can they get the job done? Brooklyn is they didn't get the job done. And if you're looking at the Eastern Conference, the ship has sailed. You got Brooklyn up there, not Brooklyn. You have, pardon me, obviously Milwaukee and the Greek Freak out there, beast, and they looking like they got the next decade and a half in their hands. The next half a decade. They got the next half a decade, 5 years or so. You're gonna have to deal with Kyrie. Kyrie put out now reports are coming out right now with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving sent this out an hour before his trade request. A cryptic tweet just came out. We got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Kyrie says in his tweet, to my peers, just be yourself and grow. Keep people around who celebrate you unconditionally and appreciates all the hard work that gets put in. Distance yourself from the folks who manipulate, hate, and hurt. So that was Kyrie Irving's Twitter tweet that he had posted before the trade request was formally announced. So now it's all about who needs a guard, where he's going. Everybody could use a Kyrie Irving. I don't give a damn if you got a point guard. Dex says Lakers will proudly receive Kyrie. I tell you what, that could be you don't think LeBron James is out there wheeling and dealing? Do you see the Lakers playing inspiring basketball? Let me tell you something. Rob Pelinka has to get Kyrie Irving in a Laker uniform by any means necessary. You do whatever it takes. You give up the 2 picks. You do it. This is the player that you do it for. You don't do this for the big man and the guard out there in Indiana. You don't do this for Buddy Hield and Turner. You don't do this for a role player. No, you do this for a key guy who's gonna come in here and shake it up. And Kyrie Irving with LeBron James, we've seen him. Okay, you might have even Kyrie may be able to admit this to you. Life changes when you leave LeBron. Now LeBron might be a headache to deal with. It might be this, that, and the third. But with LeBron is some security there with LeBron. We got to acknowledge that. There is a nice fine line of security with dealing with LeBron James. You don't have to deal with too much. Shout out Foreign. He said Magic got all the picks and everything the Nets need. Just saying. That would be funny if they did that. Brooklyn, they really don't have to acquiesce. Kyrie has been nothing but a pain in the behind for them. Why are you sending him to LA? I like New York, but I don't think he's going to New York because I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think he needs to get out of New York. He needs to get out of the state of New York. Unfortunately, so much is went on in New York. With him, I ain't gonna get all into it, but we all know the situation that he was dealing with. Shout out Natty Zay, bring Kyrie to the Mavs. Ooh, there we go. Let me see some teams now because that's going to be everything. Let me tell you something. All this pop off on Friday. Y'all know he got my back. And Kyrie, I don't think they're gonna send. That would be funny if they say, you're going to Orlando. We sending you to, to Charlotte, even though Charlotte would be good. But I'm just saying, Kyrie, I want to see what happens. Don't be surprised if Kyrie goes somewhere where you're not expecting. Ideally, everybody's gonna think LA. I like him in Dallas. You already hearing situations now like, yo, listen, Kyrie needs some help. Not Kyrie, Luka need help. He want this team improved. This, that, and the third. Listen, pairing Luka and Kyrie Irving, I mean, that's gonna be retarded. You're gonna need a big man, but I mean, you got everything else so far. But nonetheless, man, Kyrie Irving, man, is the truth, man. It really would have. It was New York was just a perfect match made in heaven. Just the way he played, his style of play, his flair for the game. It just seemed like New York was a shoo-in. It disgusts me to find out that New York is not. They should have went to the Knicks, and it's been validated. I know people are going to sit up there and clown me, think it's a joke. They should have went to New York. It was, and Zach. I like what's going on with Zach. Oh no, I'm hearing Zach in New York. Shout out All Access. Shout out my man Sky. I'm hearing Zach in New York City. To the people, we live. What's your thoughts? Breaking news.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest shit in these streets. Shout out to everybody that's on the panel. Shout out to the chat, and shout out to everybody rocking with Flight Sports TV on this breaking news evening. Yes, we here at Flight Sports TV break news, and we're prepared to give you what you need. Kyrie and Zach LaVine, both of these spectacular players are racing to get closer to the coastline of California and play in that magnificent arena, crypto.com arena, and be on the side of LeBron James, helping anchor that wonderful legacy franchise with Anthony Davis to bring LeBron James closer to the GOAT conversation and closer to overcoming the GOAT, and be a part of that Laker lore to see LeBron and witness LeBron up close break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar record, the captain. They want to be a part of it, Flight. Yes, it's coming, and it's coming sooner than later. Did you hear me, Flight? So Kyrie will not be going to no Minnesota. Kyrie will not be going to no Orlando. He's going west. You know what they said back in the 1800s? Go west, young man, go west. There's gold out there. I'm checking my mic to see if anybody can hear me. Mic check, mic check.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, you need to stay where you at because you're going in and out
Let me know
bad.
if everybody can hear me in the chat. In the streets, my fault, y'all. When news break, excuse me, we got to bring it to you no matter where we at. We are up and no matter where. So I'm not at the crib, but we bringing the news to you. And this is ridiculous. My humble opinion. The question, the $1 million question, where will Kyrie land? That's what everybody's gonna be
West.
waiting on and looking for.
He's going west where the action at. And listen, it's very disturbing to a lot of East Coast fans because you guys got Kevin Durant, you guys got Kyrie Irving, you had James Harden, you got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, you got all those teams that's competitive, Joel Embiid, and you got one character that's want to break ranks, and that's Kyrie Irving. He wants to break ranks. Even Zach, who plays in the Eastern Conference, wants to break rank and want to come out west to where the sun is shining. Tony once famously said, "It never rains in Southern California." Of course, that's mythical, but it gives you an idea of what it's like to be there and have the opportunity to spread your wings for 330 odd days of the year. And I'm being liberal to say it rains 30 days out the year. That's being liberal. So if you having all this opulence and all this money, Colorado is in the West. So I mean that just get it. Look at Coach Prime and what he's doing out west. It just the West is becoming where the sun is starting to rise, because that's what they said in the latter days. The sun will rise in the West and set in the East. So maybe the East Coast shoreline is losing its luster, and the polar has switched, and it looks like the West is winning. I mean, they're winning championships. Of course, you have the Golden State Warriors sitting on top of the richest NBA worth franchise in the NBA. It's up in Northern California. So there's a lot of things going on. You got Silicon Valley. You got so much going on in that state, north to south, that money, finance, freedom is afforded you if you can get in the right circles. And that's what's going on, I believe. So players have homes out there already.
Listen, I
And
agree.
now they can build businesses and have attachments financially to upgrade their brand. It's not just party time. It's business time out there in La La Land right now.
I believe it. Kyrie will be an unbelievable fit. Right now, LeBron and AD. Even with Rui. I mean, what would you have to give up? Give the audience a preview of what the Laker Nation have to give up to get him. Kyrie has made the pathway a little easier. Don't you agree?
Definitely made it easier, Flight. And I think I think this is a ploy. And I think it was by design because he already
Yes, of
wanted out
course.
in the off season. So
No
here we
doubt. They
come.
go on the phone right now.
So here we come right now to the situation where Kyrie is actually having the leverage, because we don't know what conversation him and Kevin Durant has been having, if they're having any conversation at all.
He knew this was gonna happen. He knows something. It's time for them to separate, man. It didn't work out. It's not gonna. With the East is getting better and better. It's over. Jacques Vaughn is the coach. Like they should have hired a real deal coach. You don't bring in
No,
an
no, no,
intern.
no, 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 no,
I'm
no,
I'm
no, no,
I'm,
no,
I'm
no,
sorry,
no,
Jack. I know you
no,
like Jack, but
no,
you
no,
you
no,
in the
no,
you in a
Flight.
tough
You way off on
tough
this one.
spot.
Stop, Flight. Stop while you're ahead. Stop while you're ahead. You way off on this one. Jacques Vaughn gave them one of the longest winning streaks in the NBA this season. So it's not nothing to do with Jacques Vaughn. It has something to do with location. Jacques Vaughn
Mm.
is a point guard coach. He's have
For
proven
sure.
that with
Yeah,
Orlando
he's a
as
he's
well
a
as
he's an
proven it with
NBA
Brooklyn.
caliber coach. I'm not disrespecting him. I just think with these personalities, that's all I was. That's where I was headed. I'm
It
not here
has
to
nothing to
disrespect Jack.
do with Jacques Vaughn. I'm trying to tell you that. Jacques Vaughn has
Okay.
approval of
Oh,
KD
okay.
and Kyrie in order for him to get that job. You better trust that.
Right.
But Kyrie wants a new location. He do not want to be on the East Coast. That's it. It has nothing to do with Jacques Vaughn.
It's
He
something to
wants
head out
out.
west.
He wants to go out west. He got other things planned. Listen, Kyrie is a movie star right now. I mean, Uncle Drew is a cult classic. That is one of the nicknames they give him in the NBA, Uncle Drew. So when you get those nicknames, you got to live up to it. And we don't know what else is going on behind the scenes of his brand, not his NBA career, but his brand. Because we already know that Nike and other brands have separated themselves from Kyrie. So you have to pay attention to all these things. And the one thing for sure is Kyrie have to look forward to when he's no longer playing basketball. And when you go out west, now we know that New York is a liberal state, especially in the five boroughs. But once you go upstate, New York is not liberal. California is similar. Once you get past Los Angeles County and you get up into the Bakerfields and Fresno area, a lot of those areas are not liberal, they're conservative. But once you get past that and get up into the Sacramentos, the San Francisco areas, the Stocktons and stuff like that, it becomes liberal again. And then once you get north of that, because California is a very long state, then it becomes conservative all over again. So Kyrie wants to get into an area where it's so liberal that he can basically speak and cross aisles with various different financial personalities and increase his portfolio and expand his horizon financially. And how you're going to do that is to get into that movie market, the same as LeBron. And LeBron became a billionaire on the court, the first and only player to become a billionaire on the court. He didn't become a billionaire after he retired, 10 years after he retired. He became a billionaire on the court. And you don't think him and Kyrie has been talking? Can you imagine a movie with Kyrie, Uncle Drew, somehow cross the dimensions into Space Jam 3? Just think about that. Space Jam 3, Uncle Drew teaming up with LeBron, arguably the GOAT, and making a new version of Space Jam and mixing Uncle Drew in Space Jam. Do you know how big that would be right now? Especially with the type of following that Kyrie Irving have? It's Black History Month, baby. We know what Kyrie is pushing. So that would be fantastic. What do you think?
I think so, Dex. Dex, I got to head back. You got 20 minutes? I'm at work for 20 minutes, man.
Okay.
Yeah, give me 20 minutes and I'm be back on the mic. I get out at 3 o'clock. Holla. I gotta go back in.
So imagine these two brains come together, and you know LeBron have some form of consciousness when it comes to exploring opportunities for his people. Kyrie have came into a strong version of consciousness. And if those two heads collide as they did in the past, it's bad for basketball and our people. But if those two heads come in collusion, it's great for basketball and our people. So here we have two strong heads, once represented polar opposites, now are coinciding into becoming a common denominator in sports and off the courts in La La Land, where a lot of dreams are broken, but they're coming to expand their dream because they already have the money. They already have the cachet. They already have the celebrity. So we all know as basketball fans that the Lakers always try to make a splash. And I know that you guys threw Rotten Tomatoes at me when I talked about this before, and we broke the news initially about Kyrie wanting to join at the hips with LeBron James, and people laughed, threw rotten eggs at me, and threw all kind of stuff until a couple of weeks later, here come Woj, here come Shram, here come the other guys, here come the heavyweights of old media, break the news, and then not all, but a lot of you old media sycophants start highlighting and repeating what those people said. But when we at Flight Sports TV broke that information, you guys thought we were just some weak bumps confabulating and making up stuff for shock value purposes. And that wasn't the case. And a lot of people didn't give us credit for it either. But nevertheless, just think about this. Zach and Kyrie are racing to get to LA. Because why all of a sudden now Kyrie rear his head, right? It's already been in the media circles that Zach is looking to get traded to Los Angeles. And it seemed like that was gaining legs because reputable mainstream media was reporting this. Even though we reported that a long time ago, you can look at Recap Rico's picture profile, and he has Zach LaVine in a Laker uniform, and he's been having that since the season began. So now that that was gaining traction, now Kyrie's like, oh, Zach is trying to beat me to the finish line. So let me make it be known publicly that I want out as well. So now the Lakers have to decide who they want to pursue. Zach LaVine, a non-championship kind of player, but very talented and uber athletic, or do they want a championship-minded person like Kyrie, who's also very talented and have also showed winning chemistry with LeBron before Kyrie chose to break ranks with the arguably the GOAT, the current king of the NBA. So you have a hell of a storyline surrounding two individuals that are integral pieces for their teams, and respectably, they are in the same conference, but not the same division. East Coast Conference players, integral parts of their team, desire to move forward, wanting out. Kyrie is more vocal than Zach, but at the same time, where there's smoke, there's fire. So now Kyrie has made it clear, and there's no kerfuffle surrounding his requests, because as we reported by Woj, and you guys already know that Woj is probably the voice of breaking news in mainstream media when it comes to the NBA. Will Kyrie wishes be granted, or is this scuttlebutt? And he's just being a pestilence as the organization of the Brooklyn Nets deemed him to be during last season. So if this is the case with Kyrie, I mean, he's doing fairly well for Brooklyn. Yes, they kind of had a little slump, but overall, they're doing pretty good. I believe they third? No, they third or fourth in the playoff slot. So they're not sluggish at all. They did have a dip. Anybody's going to have a dip if your best player go out, and Kevin Durant is overwhelmingly their best player, and he's definitely top 5 in the NBA. So if that is removed from your lineup and that production cannot be replaced by the collective, then of course your team is going to have some type of slippage. So I don't put that on Kyrie, but what I will put on Kyrie is that once they adjusted to the absence of Kevin Durant and realigned themselves with a different approach, that team have been a gangbuster. That team has been winning games they're supposed to win and being very competitive to some degree, except that last outing against, I think, Boston, to some degree against teams that are supposed to beat them without Kevin Durant. And if you can have that kind of fortitude and establish that kind of a fortress at the Barclays Center, and when your main guy comes back, you're going to be something to reckon with. And now that Kyrie wants out, that leads me to believe that he's trying to stick it to Brooklyn some kind of way, because something that's in the air has not been cleared up. It's been made over or even buried under the rug, but it hasn't been cleared. There's no closure between Kyrie and Brooklyn from those things that reared its ugly head in the media of their disagreements and non-committals. So my question also is Kevin Durant going to ask for a trade after this? Is he going to let Kyrie just scour the landscape to see who really shows interest in him? And then once he land a spot, then Kevin Durant's going to want out because they came into Brooklyn as a tandem, as a duel, as an awesome twosome to make Brooklyn the new destination of the five boroughs when it comes to NBA basketball and celebrity. They try to poke their finger in the eye of the New York Knicks fan base and organization by spurning and shunning the New York Knicks offer to acquire them both as a duel. Maybe because New York didn't want to give Kyrie that guarantee extension. And probably Brooklyn did. And then somewhere down the line, they severed from that commitment because of Kyrie and his mindset towards certain activities that paraded all over this country, dealing with the vaccine, dealing with his journey to discover who and what he is as a man, as a human, as a product of a race. And Brooklyn just couldn't stand Kyrie's approach towards his life endeavors. They just wanted him to shut up and dribble. And I believe Kyrie just feels he's bigger than shutting up and dribbling. And no matter what, if a person is searching for his identity, who could be mad once he finds it? Or who could be mad at the area or the avenues in which he travels or traverse to find that identity? Maybe Brooklyn is just not the place for him. Maybe the East Coast is not the place for him. Every man has a right under the Constitution to pursue love, peace, and happiness, whether it be with our team or not with our team. I was upset when Shaq got traded from the Lakers and then went to Miami and won a championship. Oh my God, was I devastated. But things happen. People have their own dreams and ambition and goals to accomplish. And so happened, the Laker fans wasn't a part of that. And so happened, maybe Brooklyn fans is just not a part of what Kyrie is trying to move forward with. So I know Lakers will pridefully accept and receive Kyrie in a purple and gold and pair him with LeBron James, who already have a chemistry of winning a championship. And listen now, that championship was special because they was down 3-1 to a assumed dynasty. And later, Golden State has become the hegemony of sovereignty in the NBA. And LeBron James disrupted a back-to-back for the young Golden State Warriors at the time in a revenge game. Because prior to that, basketball savants, LeBron James was punished by the Golden State Warriors in the heroics of Andre Iguodala, who eventually became the MVP. And the only reason why Andre Iguodala became the MVP, my beloved basketball savants, is because they did not want to blemish Jerry West and have LeBron James join that exclusive company of being the second player to win an MVP on a losing team in the NBA Finals. They want to keep Jerry West unblemished. And as he is currently the only player to ever do that in the 75-year history of the NBA. But LeBron James was deserving because his numbers was astronomical in that series. But give it up to Golden State for toughing it out and beating them. So in return, LeBron James the following year received a stimulus package from the NBA based on Draymond Green and his antics and came back from a devastating 3-1 deficit to win the NBA championship or NBA finals in 7 games. That's what Kyrie is missing. Kyrie is missing that kind of leadership, that kind of thrust, and that kind of hunger. Because LeBron James, love him or hate him, he has a thirst and a hunger to be great, and not only to be great, but to be the greatest. And that keeps compelling LeBron and ultimately catapulting him up the ladder and closer to Michael Jordan as the greatest player of all time. And Kevin Durant doesn't have that type of hunger to pursue that. And I think Kyrie's missing that, and that's what Kyrie thrives off of. From the fuselage of a player of LeBron's ilk and his mindset to surpass and do it quietly to some degree. We all know what LeBron is after. We all know it. And if he can get a championship at the same time being the NBA leading scorer of all time, do you know what that would do to the people who are a part of that pursuit? Are you kidding me? Look at Rick Fox being a part of the pursuit of Shaq and Kobe winning championships. Look at Ron Harper. You understand what I'm getting at? Shannon Brown, if he could have behaved properly, could have been a part of the Laker folklore forever. Look at Lamar Odom, regardless of what he do in life. And we know he's dealing with his vices. He's always going to be linked to Kobe Bryant after Shaq moments. Always. The Kobe Bryant after Shaq with Lamar and Paul Gasol, that's going to always be linked forever in the minds of NBA savants. When you bring the Kobe Bryant era up after Shaq, you have to insert Paul Gasol and Lamar Odom. This is what Kyrie is missing. He wants to untarnish his legacy by being a part of the LeBron era once he breaks Kareem Abdul-Jabbar all-time NBA scoring record and hopefully win a championship. And we know of LeBron James, Kyrie, and Anthony Davis, Thomas Bryant, Lonnie Walker IV with Austin Reeves. Come on, man, that's the making of a championship. Think about that. And you still have the remnants, right? You're still going to have the remnants that's going to play hard because they know what they're up against now. They up against history. Who don't want to wear a uniform when you up against history? And when they name that roster, your name is inserted. Isn't that mad crazy? The Brooklyn Nets are not up against history. The Brooklyn Nets are up against Philly. They up against Boston. And they up against that other mean green team, the Milwaukee Bucks. That's what they're up against. The Lakers not up against nobody but history right now. Nobody's clamoring for championship for the Lakers right now. It's all about LeBron and breaking Kareem record. And can he do it and make the playoffs at the same time? They just trying to get the Lakers into the playoffs and then hope they strike lightning in a bottle. This is a money move for the entire NBA. And Adam Silver is welcoming this. This is why Adam Silver intervened with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving leaving Brooklyn prematurely. No, let's let this play out. You get to the All-Star break or the trade deadline, and then we can call it quits. But don't be discombobulating before the even season starts. I understand you got your quarrels with the team. I understand you have a misunderstanding with the team. And the team kind of threw you under the bus during that back season. And you was proven right, Kyrie. You definitely was proven right. But at the same time, Kyrie, we are an organization. When I'm talking about we, I'm speaking in third party to Adam Silver representing the NBA as a commissioner. We are a organization. And an organization, the root word of organization is organ. So we are a living organ that is vital to the entertainment industry via sports. Don't disturb that right now, Kyrie. Let us get on track. And they all agree. Remember, they had the meeting. They all agreed. Kevin Durant rescinded his trade. Kyrie opted in. Boom. Brooklyn's intact. Right? Now, he fulfilled that period. And he wants out. And I guarantee you he wants out to go west. Bed-Stuy, SGA will be perfect, but you're going to have to get rid of Ben Simmons as well. If Kyrie leaves and SGA comes in, you still got to get rid of Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons is a tarnished golden idol that wants to start. So you have to get rid of two people to get SGA. And it'll be a three-team situation where Ben Simmons would basically have to go to OKC. Eric B., let's calm down on the Zach to the Lakers trade. Eric B., we can't calm down because the kerfuffle that surrounds that situation has loomed for weeks now, heading to the trade deadline. And Kyrie, Eric B., has witnessed the landscape leaning towards Zach going to LA over him because he seemed to be happy and content in Brooklyn. That's what it seemed in the mainstream media because Kyrie wasn't making any more noise after he had fulfilled those requests from Josiah. That he was going to be well behaved in a Brooklyn uniform. But since Zach have came to the forefront, not out of his own mouth, but the people that surround him in his camp, speaking that Zach went out, he's going to give the team to DeMar, and he want to head west and be a Laker. Remember LeVar spoke to, what's that, Dave Kaplan? And he broke the news how Zach was dissatisfied. And we know dissatisfaction, depending on what level of your dissatisfaction, brings about a change to that same level. And then people started to talk about that Zach situation based on what LeVar has said. And then Zach never really answered. And then Zach finally came out saying he wants to be a Bull. The Bulls paid him. But that was some contentious negotiation because it lingered. It lingered. And I just think Zach feels that the Bulls don't really have his back even though they paid him all that money. And DeMar DeRozan is their crutch. So Zach said, okay, you want DeMar? Take DeMar. And it's evident, Eric B., what happened with that one play against the Clippers where both of them collided, basically, and there was a turnover and the claw. Kawhi Leonard stole the ball and sealed that game. Why do those two people end up in the same area? When that happens in football, guess what they say? Somebody wasn't supposed to be there. So I just believe Zach felt that, if I'm going to play second fiddle to anybody, I'm going to play to the GOAT, the current GOAT, the king. If that's the case, I'm not going to play it to DeMar, to somebody who could not beat the king. So I'm building my castle in LA. And we already know that Zach got expensive property in LA. That's where his people are. That's where his wife is. That's where his kid is. Why not play in LA? So I just think it's a race to the Lakers between Zach and Kyrie. If I'm wrong, I will commit it. I will admit it that I'm wrong. But when you watch as much basketball as I have, and when you seen a lot of transitions the way I've seen, you can see the groundwork is being swelled for these two to be in a Laker uniform. And that's good for the Lakers because now the Lakers have a better leverage of negotiating since they have another player wanting to come. Now I'm looking at ESPN and they're showing the Kyrie Irving situation. See, this is going to grow. This is going to get ugly. You're a Brooklyn fan, this is going to get ugly because it is official that he wants out and he wants out now. And that means Zach going to have to ramp up his interest if he's serious. But we all know Zach is not a Kyrie Irving, physically or mentally. Zach is a passive aggressive type guy. Kyrie Irving is not passive aggressive. He's like, this is what I want in my life, and this is what I'm going to pursue. So Kyrie is getting ahead of it, while Zach is just in the background waiting on Rich Paul to line up all the dots before he moves. So I'm telling you, and I'm telling you now, things is getting ready to get ugly for these two teams. And reason why I'm kind of surprised about the Kyrie situation, because they're in a winning situation. Brooklyn is in a winning situation, but the Bulls is not. The Bulls is kicking, clawing, scratching, trying to make something happen. Even though the Bulls have an illustrious roster, I mean, the Bulls are deep. It just something is not clicking in between the ears of Zach and DeRozan and Vooch to put the Bulls in a better situation. So Brooklyn is falling apart as we speak. They're coming unglued by the seams. And do Josiah, is he responsible for this separation and diluting of the Brooklyn Nets talent, where a lot of people assume that Brooklyn will reign supreme in the Eastern Conference? That haven't came true yet. They were close, like a toe close, but close only counts in horseshoes. Close only counts in horseshoes. So Brooklyn and Kyrie looks like they're headed for a divorce. And is this going to be a ugly divorce played out in the courts of public opinion? Or are they going to do this professionally and grant Kyrie his desires? Because you got to remember, these NBA players, see, this is not like an average job. Okay, let's get to the crux of this. This is not an average job. Every NBA player is under an independent contract. These guys are 1099s. They're not 1040s. They're 1099s. So once they get paid, they're responsible for paying their taxes. The NBA is not taking nothing out of these NBA players' check towards going to the government to pay taxes for them. They have to hire their own accountants. They have to hire their own lawyers and people to that nature to combat any type of error when it comes to paying taxes and things of that nature, right? Whether it's capital gain taxes or whatever. So if you are an independent contractor, or if you know anything about independent contracting, then you know that everything is based on performance.
I'm back with you,
Whether,
Dex.
yeah, thank you. Everything is based on performance. So if the people that you're contract with do not meet their part of the agreement, then that's part of the performance, right? Or if you don't meet your end of the agreement, then you can break the contract. And I think right now, Flight, Kyrie Irving is disappointed in some of the, not the players, but the managerial portion of the contractual agreement. And he choose to sever ties with the organization.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, man. Catch me up to speed, Dex. What were you alluding to? I'm sorry.
Well, we talked about
What's the big deal? My
Kyrie
fault, not
and
you, man.
yeah, we talked about Kyrie and
Where we
Zach
going?
LaVine racing to be a LA Laker because this is what
We're
it's
not going nowhere.
culminating to be. It's culminating to be a race to Venice Beach or Santa Monica Beach, depending on your level of consciousness. There's some who go to Venice and won't go to Santa Monica, and there's some who go to Santa Monica and won't go to Venice. I go
Right.
to both because
It's funny. God,
yeah, that's my personality. You know what I'm saying? I got a Santa Monica personality,
right,
kind of bougie, and I got a Venice Beach personality, which is hood.
right. Well, you know what's so funny about that situation? Everybody's thinking he's headed to LA. You know, that's what I find so tricky about it. Are there any other destinations? You know, before I left, I seen people dropping Dallas. You know, I know that but LA seems to be the shoe in. You know, what about the Clippers? You know, you see, you got to start to think out here, man. You know, what about Denver? You know, you
For
got
us,
to think
who? Who are
about
you
you got
speaking
to start
about?
to think about the list of teams. See, when Kyrie Irving originally ended up where he ended up, he had put out a list of teams he wanted to go to. You know, I think yeah, the Nets was on it, the Knicks, the Suns. Let me tell you something. Chris Paul. I don't know if you've been hearing. Chris Paul stated that he wanted. Well, he didn't say he wanted out, but it said NBA executives are monitoring the situation around Phoenix involving guard Chris Paul. Chris Paul could be on the pallet, you know, in terms of getting moved. You know, so it's gonna be a tricky situation on how all this shake out.
Well, Flight, I'm gonna tell you like this. I normally eat David flower seeds with the
Oh wow.
reduced sodium, but they didn't have them, so I got my bigs,
Okay.
the salted roasted original sunflower seed. And I'm just waiting for things to unfold as I crack the shell of my sunflower seeds and eat the meat of it.
Yeah. Yo, if
And,
they get go ahead. Okay.
and I can just see Kyrie switching his black uniform. I mean, New Jerseys do have nice uniform for that purple
Right.
and gold. But
Brooklyn.
it's nothing like wearing that purple and gold. If you're not gonna wear purple and gold, then you might as well wear the mean green.
Or the
But
orange and blue.
no, orange and blue is
No?
that's outdated. That's
Oh,
obsolete.
come on.
You can wear the yellow and blue in Golden State because they're definitely on the rise. But the
Uh-huh.
Lakers, Jeannie, see one thing about Jeannie Buss. Let's get this straight. Jeannie
Let's get
Buss
it
is an
straight.
old head, right? She's an old head,
Uh-huh.
but she don't look like an old head.
That's
I
right.
mean, she got flawless skin. She still got meat on her bones. Her hair is beautiful. The beautiful swaggy hair she has. Dusty
You like
blonde.
her? You like Gina?
No, not like that. But I'm just giving you an example. And you know she was a playgirl. Jeannie Buss was a
Listen,
playgirl.
come on. You don't think I know this?
And so this 62-year-old, thanks Rap God on Reloaded, this 62-year-old Jeannie Buss parades herself like a 35-year-old woman.
Shout out Cruz.
So that means that she competes at an all-time high because she really is Dr. Jerry Buss in a skirt.
Yeah.
But the only thing about her and Jerry Buss is that sometimes her detachments don't come soon enough. He stay a little concentrated on certain things that she shouldn't concentrate on when it comes to moving the Lakers forward. So that is her disability. But outside of that, she just as a competitor to her as her dad was. And this is why her dad gave her the team. And she chose to allow her brother to take charge first. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Because she was willing and lamenting over her dad's passing. You feel me?
Shout out Basil Carpenter Jr.
And now that they're trying, now that she got over her dad passing, she moved forward. She know that
Right.
she realized her dad is basically or is reincarnated through her. And this is why she respect LeBron James to the point that she respect him. And this is why she respect Kobe Bryant to the point that she respect Kobe. It's because these are fierce competitors. LeBron is just a little more passive aggressive than Kobe. Kobe is straightforward. Him and Kyrie is in alignment. And you don't think Jeannie Buss want the spirit of Kobe in the form of Kyrie in a Laker uniform?
Mm.
See, the thing of it is this. This is what the conflicting factors are when it comes to these two phenomenal players. And I'm talking Zach and Kyrie. Kyrie is the mind of Kobe. Zach is the physicality of Kobe. So the confliction is, do we want the physicality of Kobe or do we want the mind of Kobe? You understand what I'm saying? Because Kyrie can't do the things Zach can do. And Zach can't think the game out the way Kyrie can or pursue it relentlessly to get a victory than Kyrie. And Kyrie feel that
That's
he's
a tough
losing his
take.
luster being in a Brooklyn uniform. He's not showing
Yeah.
he's Kyrie.
Mm.
He needs to have and feed off the energy of LeBron James because LeBron James is passive aggressive. Kyrie is way more vocal than LeBron James is when it comes to that aspect of basketball. LeBron just want to keep it in between the lines, the 94 feet margin. Kyrie takes it beyond that more so than LeBron and do it quickly. So here is the GOAT
Okay.
concentrating.
So
Here's the. Go ahead.
no,
Like what you say?
I was gonna add something. If you're not finished with the take, I want. No, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clear.
Dex.
I can hear you clear.
Okay, all right, good. My fault. I'm in the car driving. All right, I apologize to the people. But listen, what I was gonna say was I wanted to fast track you. You know, because I'm with the assumption like you that Kyrie has just did this, you know, to make the job easier for Palenka and the crew. You know, this morning I got a notification on Westbrook that they had a conversation with Indiana. So Westbrook ain't safe. They holding on to that contract for a reason. You know, so he's the base for the move for Kyrie. You know, and I think they just backed them into a corner. So, realistically, if they were able to pair Kyrie Irving in LA with these guys, with LeBron, with AD, and I ain't even gonna get into everybody else because who knows who's gonna be there. But those three alone, what kind of damage can they do? You know, this year, are they making the play-in? Are they making the playoffs? What happens this year?
With the Lakers or with the Brooklyn
Yes,
Nets?
no, with the Lakers. We'll get to the Nets later. But
Oh, okay.
the Nets look like it's over, but we'll get to them later. But involving the Lakers, I believe
Yes.
Kyrie is the Lakers is ahead. Like they're the front runners.
So Kyrie to the Lakers would catapult them to the favorite. They would surpass
Even
and
in the
supplant the Denver
seedings,
Nuggets.
even in the seedings, because you know they probably have to go to the
Yes.
play-in.
No.
Okay,
They will be way over the play-in if Kyrie goes to the
they're
Lakers.
gonna
Like
go on the
you,
streak. They're gonna go on the
yeah,
streak.
exact. There you go. There you go. They will go on a winning streak.
They're gonna go about 7, 8 games straight, and that's gonna get them to where they need to be. You're right about that. If they get Kyrie, they're going on like at least a close to 10-game win streak.
Now, Rap God Reloaded said Kyrie will get an extension with Nets. Now, maybe he could, like I said earlier, Rap God. I don't know if he was on the stream. I said this could be a ploy from Kyrie. This could be a ploy from Kyrie to get the Brooklyn Nets up in arms about his situation and
They
get
want
them
the
to come to
max.
the table. You follow what I'm saying? And come to the
He's a
table.
max
Yeah,
player.
we did talk about that. But he's on a 1-year contract, Flight. That's not security.
No, I know, but what I was gonna say was Kyrie is a max player. I know the reason why they're holding out the max is because of all the other stuff on the floor, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna go to the Players Association. He's gonna make a team give him the max. He's a max player. He's the starter in the All-Star game. I mean, he hardly played this year, and look what he did. You know, so I mean, it's like, are we gonna argue? Is he a maximum contract player? So it's all about making sure he ain't taking less because he didn't do this, this, and that, or he didn't follow the rules. That's what this is. It's about money.
It's definitely about money. So that's why I was saying that this could be a ploy for him, right? To get the Nets to come to the table and talk serious about his contract restriction before it gets too late and it gets into the off season. So he's making them come to the table early if that's the case. So Rap God Reloaded has a definite point there. And so, or he could be doing this also. Either come now or I'm leaving later, and I'm letting teams know ahead of time. Prepare your roster to receive me. And who is he speaking to? He's speaking to the Los Angeles Lakers. Because like I said, Zach situation had came to the forefront. And it got legs because it's being reported by mainstream media. And mainstream media just ain't going to report some scuttlebutt. They're going to report something that is tangible, that have some legs to it. You understand? Whether it goes through or not. Because they have to save their hiney because they can get sued for tampering as well. Making up stuff. So that's why they always have to say an anonymous source. They have to cover their butt. That they're not just pulling this out their ass. Pause. So Zach LaVine's like, see, that's why I say it's a race. Listen to what I'm saying. It's a race to get to LA. Zach versus Kyrie. Who's faster? Is this going to Zach is acting like the turtle, while Kyrie is acting like the hare.
Yeah, he's trying to get out tonight.
Right. You feel me? Zach is letting yeah. Zach is allowing Chris what's his name? Rich Paul to pull strings.
Yeah,
and why Zach try to be the good guy. You can't be, it ain't about being no good guy. Kyrie knows it. See, this is why I love Kyrie. He knows it ain't about being no good guy. Man, fuck that. Look what they made me do. They put 10 demands on me because something I posted. It ain't about being no good guy. Because I was trying to be a good guy. I apologize. And they still said, damn your apology. Work, boy. We trying to fuck break you.
To the Nets credit, they should let him go. Because I think it's time for both parties just to get a handshake and move on. But what does this do for Kevin Durant? They gotta bring. See, this is where the Lakers situation becomes tricky to me, because I obviously, if Kyrie say, hey, what's the list of teams? The Lakers gonna be on the board, you know. But then what happens involving Kevin Durant? How do you make sure that they bring back equitable pieces for them? They plan on going to the postseason too, right? I mean, are they gonna reunite Russell Westbrook?
That could be a problem. Remember, I said this. See, like you coming full circle, because remember I said this, and FYF and all those other guys were laughing at me. And then when it didn't happen, you follow what I'm saying? They doubled down on it. But now it's resurfacing, Flight. So it's got to be something there, right?
And another twist.
I didn't make this up. You feel me? I didn't make this up because it's keep rearing its ugly head.
Westbrook had, you know, with the best success. Yeah, the best success we had was with LeBron James. So just think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear what I said?
I've been saying that. Remember, I said this a year ago, basically. Westbrook had his best success with Kevin Durant, albeit it was with OKC in that red clay. And Kyrie had his best success with LeBron James. Why not reunite these two lover birds? Right?
They know how to play with each other. Durant is the only one who understands Westbrook, you know, and how he playing, his demeanor, and how to let him be him, and vice versa. And they older now.
Kyrie apologized for his mischievous behavior when it
deep
came
down,
to
Kyrie
Durant.
and
You're going in and out for like,
you mean LeBron?
yeah, I mean
I
LeBron.
said
I
you
said
mean
Kevin
he
Durant.
apologized to LeBron?
Yes, he apologized to
Yeah.
Kevin Durant too, but I was wrong in that instant. He apologized to LeBron about his misgivings and non-committal to the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James during their championship runs. Kyrie was always defiant because he's a Kobe guy and he's witnessing LeBron surpass Kobe in the eyes of public opinion and some NBA pundits. And that was something Kyrie had trouble grasping. So he was conflicted in helping LeBron double down on his boy, Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant couldn't defend himself no more because Kobe Bryant was not in the league. So Kyrie went to greener pastures, stopped, and went to Boston, right? No pun intended, but and it didn't work out because he had another young Thundercat up under him doing him the same way he did LeBron and Terry Rozier. You follow what I'm saying? Thinking he was better than Kyrie and pushing the limits and constantly in Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge's ear that he need more ticks. And how can you get more ticks when you got a championship all-star point guard ahead of you that's playing good basketball? Kyrie get hurt. Terry Rozier step up to the plate. And the rest is history. Them young cats went on a run. No Gordon, no Kyrie, just young cats with a young, smart X and O coach. So Kyrie said he was going to resign and didn't resign, and now he's a Brooklyn Nets. And now Kyrie is still having misgivings and his petulant behavior to the Brooklyn organization. A lot of people feel, especially in that borough, that the Brooklyn Nets organization doesn't deserve this type of treachery. But guess what? They not understanding that Kyrie just don't sit well without playing with LeBron. You remember Charlie Brown, right?
That's right.
In the Charlie Brown saga, there was a character named Linus. And Linus always had something with him that made him feel secure. Lucy used to always try to take this object or thing from Linus and show him that he can survive without it. And that was his so-called lucky blanket. He always stayed wrapped with that blanket. And he felt good about himself as long as he had that blanket. When you take the blanket, he starts shaking and shivering, falling out, passing out, all kind of stuff happened to Lionel. This is Kyrie without LeBron. LeBron is that security blanket for Kyrie. So when Kyrie goes into his tangents or his episodes, and he cycled through that drama, LeBron was always there to shield him and cover him like a blanket. So we didn't know these things, but in the locker room, they knew. The organization knew. But we didn't know it because LeBron was such a great teammate to Kyrie because he knew what Kyrie was all about when it came to Kyrie competing on that floor. And that's all LeBron wanted was someone to compete like him so he can continue his winning legacy ways and stay in the conversation of GOAThood. So Kyrie and LeBron was a match made in heaven, and they proved it by coming back from 3-1 against the premier hegemony of sovereignty, the Golden State Warriors, the most prized and profitable team in the NBA right now, surpassing the New York Knicks. Golden State 1, Knicks 2, and the Lakers 3. They passed the New York Knickerbockers in worth and value.
Uh,
The
it
Golden
was a, it
State
was a
Warriors.
collective. It was a collective. It was a collective, situation.
And
So
LeBron
let's
beat
see.
that team with Kyrie, a healthy Kyrie.
How you know what? You brought up the Golden State Warriors, so I got to open up Pandora's box. How big, was that move? Because we all know that Kyrie, he didn't win a chip in Brooklyn, even though that was the reason why they linked up. But how big was the championship in Golden State to the reason why we're here today? How big is
For
that chip
LeBron,
that they won? No, for this
for LeBron,
Brooklyn situation. No, for the Brooklyn situation. Does that didn't have nothing to do with why we here today?
I think so, Flight, because like I keep trying to tell you, LeBron is that blanket to Kyrie as that blanket was to Lionel in the Charlie Brown saga. So this is why we're here today. Kyrie is missing that kind of atmosphere where you get the media
Mm.
attention, where you get the tension, right? You get the media attention and the media tension because there's still an old school media that still permeate himself that feels Michael Jordan would be the GOAT no matter what LeBron do. So you get the new aspect of mainstream media that feels LeBron is the GOAT. So these two worlds collide, old school media and the new school media of mainstream media, not alternative media, but mainstream media. They got two worlds and they collide based on NBA, who's the GOAT, LeBron or Michael Jordan. And those two worlds going to forever collide. But let me tell you this, old school media is a dying art form and they're losing the fight for the case of Michael Jordan. Because the reason why they're losing the fight, not because of statistical reasons, but because they're dying out. And the younger media, the younger narratives are replacing the old school narratives. And so LeBron is primed to be the GOAT once he's past his Kareem and win another championship. Because that will put LeBron at what? 5 championships? And if he gets 5, so he's already tied with Kobe, and they already catapult him above Kobe. And now he has records to back his claim, even though he lost more than the GOAT. I mean, Michael Jordan, who I believe is the GOAT. He lost more than Mike, but he got all these records. And he's still playing, and he's still playing at a higher rate at the same age that Michael Jordan was at that age. When Michael Jordan was 38, he wasn't playing like LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So these new school mainstream media narratives is eventually is going to push LeBron past Michael Jordan. And this is what they're setting up for. So you got to see the game within the game. They're setting this up. And that's why they're trying to push Kyrie back to LA to reunite with LeBron. It's not that it's LA. I'm just talking about the media. It's not because it's LA. It's because LeBron is there. LeBron could be in Philly and they will push Kyrie to Philly. It wouldn't matter where LeBron at. LeBron could be in Orlando. They will push Kyrie to Orlando. Wherever LeBron is at, they need LeBron to have that specific kind of Batman to cover what LeBron is weak at. And what LeBron is weak at, closing games. That's the only thing he fails at, is closing games. He always have opportunity to close games, and most times he don't close them. Yeah, a lot of people say, well, he got the best clutch percentage of modern day players or whatever like that. But when we see the eye test, come on, man. We can't do that because you can play with the stats. When you see the eye test, you know LeBron is not closing out games the way he's supposed to close out games. You know what I'm saying? Whether he gets fouled in Boston or whether they miss a call and sack, we know that LeBron is not closing out games the way he's supposed to close out games. Look at the Indiana game. AD closed that. Dennis Schroeder closed that. Russell Westbrook closed that. Clutch free throws. So that's one of the things the Michael Jordan fan base can hang their hat on. That Jordan was never, ever, even Kobe fan base, was afraid to close out games. He looked forward to closing out games, Flight. But the new school mainstream media is ready to thrust LeBron James as the GOAT of all time. As soon as he passed Kareem, Kyrie gets over there, Zach gets over there, and they win another championship with a stout team with very few flaws. He will have 5, one less than Michael, but with all the records to complement that 5. It'll be hard pressed for old school media to come up with a narrative to supplant the narratives of the new school media and mainstream media. Flight.
Right, I heard everything you said. It's crazy. It's gonna be interesting to see, man. I can't wait till that situation happens. It gets rectified with the Kyrie situation. I want him in LA, to be honest with you. I found myself rooting for the Lakers recently. Like I said, they became the biggest underdog, and I definitely love underdogs. Because like I said, I can relate to it. So it's just I love to see a team that's sitting at the bottom and they rise to the top. So the Lakers, they went from the biggest front runners to the biggest underdogs. It's crazy how this has happened, but nobody could question the talent of the Lakers. And if they got Kyrie, it was going to be more of no questions. It was just continuously. And I believe a championship will be on your horizon. I do believe they're going to secure one because Kyrie went through a lot of hell. And I think a championship just closes everything. It seals the deal.
Yes. And like I said, if they can pull this off and Zach LaVine have something to say about it, it depends on the conversation between Rich Paul and LeBron James of who he prefer. And I think LeBron will prefer Kyrie over Zach. And so Zach Camp is being somewhat quiet about pushing the narrative of Zach being traded to LA. Because that's a specific destination that team has described and listed for the NBA pundits to talk about, to put it out there in the air. And we already know that Clutch Sports is a media farm. They got media heads all over these networks pushing narratives, and which is ingenious in itself for their guy, especially in this social media era. So you got Zach is in their camp, but then LeBron can say, well, I know Zach is our boy, but I need Kyrie because I need a specific type of playmaker or non-playmaker.
He knows where he's getting.
He knows what he's getting. And that's important. Thank you, Isaiah Curry. I'm not having another wet dream.
Wow.
But what I'm saying is that those scenarios that I laid out and some of the narrative that I'm pushing, it has legs. It's not just scuttlebutt. It has legs. And all we have to see if these guys are bold enough to pursue the asteroid belts of criticism that they're going to receive. They got to navigate through the asteroid belt of criticism. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to dodge these boulders coming at them because it seemed like it's set up for LeBron to win a championship and pass Kareem at the same time in the same year. Do you know how long that conversation would be? That conversation would be all through the Super Bowl, all through the NHL playoffs, all the way into baseball season, past springtime baseball, but into the baseball season, they will be talking about LeBron James pulling off a banner miracle and the Lakers not making the playoffs to winning a championship because they did a bold move at the trade deadline and they dared to enter a frontier that no other team was willing to do. And that is to get Kyrie Irving, despite the baggage that he brings, despite the people he so called offended, despite going against government mandates, despite Kyrie being untouchable and buried in Brooklyn, buried in one of the five boroughs of New York. Now he's an all-star, despite all of that. This guy's an all-star, and not only an all-star starter flight. You cannot make this stuff up. So all the publicity, whether it was negative, and then he did have some support. He had some support. And now in this Black History Month, we got two black quarterbacks starting the Super Bowl for the first time ever in NFL history. And the NFL is over 100 years old. Ever. Ever. So that's making noise. Kyrie's making noise. And LeBron is sitting as a bastion of hope to restore Kyrie to glory. And that is definitely a match made in heaven. And Zach LaVine is falling behind as we speak to be the next star to wear a Lakers uniform. And this will put Recap Rico at a disappointing disadvantage. And Zach LaVine will probably never will be a Laker if Kyrie wins this race to LA.
Good call. That's crazy, man. Shout out my man Rico. Shout out CWE. Did Rico show up today?
No, Rico's not
Yeah,
here.
well, I mean, I know he'll have a lot to say later about involving his Lakers. But I tell you what, things are definitely on the up and ups, for your team. And I must admit, especially for a team that's not in the position that people would like, they definitely look good. Somebody says, I want Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, my Bulls, because of his efficiency. I think the Bulls is definitely live for a point guard, too. So the Bulls got to do something. I mean, they probably will have a more attractive piece than, possibly the Lakers. But I think Kyrie is going to, these are superstar players, man. This Kyrie, this LeBron James, this AD, these guys going to go to their preferred destination. Even when, what's the name, James Harden, he left Brooklyn, he still went to his preferred destination, That's just facts. It's just been a crazy situation with this. Somebody talking about him, Kyrie going to Milwaukee. I mean, let the games begin. Let's figure out where. I do think the Lakers are the teams that you're hearing like possibly need to make moves. I think it's going to be some of the first teams that come to mind. Obviously, the Lakers, they active as hell. I would think New York. God damn, somebody car caught on fire on the highway. God damn, this whole car burning up. Yeah, but back to what I was gonna say. It's just a crazy situation, going on with these teams. I'm trying to think of Phoenix. Everybody who out here is rumors and trades, I'm thinking they could be possibly a destination. What about Miami? And Miami was originally, I believe, on his list too. The teams that he wanted. I don't remember every team that he asked for, but I do remember the Knicks was on the list, the Suns was on the list. I believe Miami was on the list. Charlotte wasn't on it. Nah, 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 nah. So that was just the teams that was up there. It was teams that he could really go to and star, right now. So it's crazy. That's the teams I think Kyrie could be headed to. So it's y'all pick to figure out what destination is leading the way. I mean, anybody could, their team, but I got the Lakers leading the sweepstakes. I think, and it's always unfortunate when you got a team that everybody thinks overwhelmingly they're gonna get. They're gonna get. How do they get it? And another thing, when you start to think about other teams and what they could put on the table, is a lot more attractive than the Lakers. That's why they're gonna need to get a third team, a fourth team. I said this weeks ago. I smell a 3-4 team trade on the horizon. Who don't remember I said that? Because how are the Lakers going to be able to get Brooklyn the equitable pieces? I think you're going to see people going all over the place. I'm telling you, you're gonna have a conjunction of teams orchestrate a deal. Shut out ball facts is the plot twist for real. Yes, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have all these teams come together and then all link up. And then say, okay, let's get you here, let's get you, make sure I get this. Okay, these picks gonna go here. And then everybody gonna end up getting the guy they want, and then people gonna go to the destination they want to go to. It's just right now the Lakers really don't have the assets. Like, can they really compete with New York in a trade for Kyrie Irving? Can they compete with possibly Dallas? Can they compete with? I'm trying to think who else. Toronto, or Miami. Miami could put. Look who they could put on the table. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, picks. I mean, seriously. I mean, that alone is better than whatever the Lakers could muster up. The Knicks, they dealing with all these other people. Cam Reddish name is popping up. All these other guys. The Cam Reddish one guy, they could give up. My man, I forgot his name already. But Quentin Grimes, pardon me, Quentin Grimes could go. RJ could go. I mean, seriously, y'all can't compete with nothing like this. So I mean, if y'all gonna need the 3 or 4 teams just for this thing to go over. With the media. Because you can't just look like they just gave him to LeBron.
Yeah, we have Hoop Jargon in the building. We have Uncle Vern in the building, and shout out to Ball Facts for pulling up, presenting us with his graceful appearance. Flight, before we allow Hoop Jargon to go ahead and sizzle, and Uncle Vern, is a legendary icon in the landscape of YouTube, Brooklyn is in the 4th slot. They are in the Goldilocks zone. So if the playoff was to start today, Brooklyn will be a home team in the first round. But Brooklyn is playing under 500 basketball in the last 10 games. So I don't know what sparked Kyrie. Like I said, he just want out. How y'all doing, brothers?
All right.
Shout out Hoop Jargon. Shout out Uncle Vern.
All right,
what's the deal, Hoop Jargon?
What's the deal, man? Good to see you, Flight. Good to see you, Young Vern. Good to see you, Dex. Panel.
All right, what's going on, Jack?
Man, same old 1-2, bro.
Oh yeah. I just saw you over there on Zen Master. Hey, dig this dope. Hey, look. Yep. Hey, this a big story. AJ,
that's what trying to tell us this shit a month ago.
Yeah.
Maybe a year ago.
Hey, this a big story because this a big story.
I gotta get you on. Hold on.
This a big story because of the fact, like I told you before, ain't nothing going on in the NBA, man. Ain't nothing going on. There's gonna be a whole lot of changes in the NBA. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Hold on, we coming your way. Who's trying to talk to us, man? What the hell is going on? We got breaking news.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say it, bro, because I'm a big Kyrie Irving fan, bro. Straight up, I'm a big Kyrie Irving fan. I just am. I've always been a fan of his. I like what he does on the court. His beliefs. I'm on, lock and step with most of them. Sometimes he a little wayward. But I'm going to just say this, man. Kyrie Irving lacks self-reflection skills, man. Like, basically, the way he views himself, he thinks the world views him that way. And it puts him in these corners. And right now, it's like, bro, you have no leverage to be traded nowhere. Like, there's not a big market for you because, and like I was saying on Zen channel, your talent, yes. Like, everybody wants your talent. Like, you are a dog. Like, you are that dude. But who knows your commitment level? Who knows what you're going to actually do? It seems like your brain changes every 4 months. So it's like, I mean, realistically, who's going to invest in you? I guess that's the big thing I'm saying. Who's going to invest in your little thing that you do? And I think that's what's kind of weird about what Kyrie's doing. It's just like, bro, who's going to sign up for your program? Because they know you're flighty. They know you're very opinionated. I mean, God gave you a brain, so do what you will with your brain. But like, bro, who you think is going to really invest in you, give up picks in a high level player because the money got to match up? What does he really want for this? And secondly,
I want to answer
I
this.
saw the idea floated out about the Lakers. Listen, man, I hope he comes to my Lakers and we ain't gonna do shit. So I want to just put to bed that because we saw this project work out. It got one championship, and other times it did not work out. Right? Like, i.e., the Golden State Warriors blew the doors off their ass the next 2 years. So it's like,
AD, though. Go ahead. They got Anthony Davis there too this time. They didn't have that.
You're absolutely right, Flight. But you know what? LeBron James is 5 years older from that time. LeBron James is not a better basketball player. I don't care what his stats say. He's not a better basketball player than he was in 2017, 2016.
I'm not a Laker fan. I ain't got no dog in this fight. But hold on.
I'm just saying.
Again, I want to say something because you had alluded to something about this is what me and All Access was just touching on. Pause. We were just saying, like, yo, listen, the Lakers are in play because of what you just said. What leverage he got? Who gonna give up picks? Who gonna give up this? So that slides Russell Westbrook's contract in there. Those 2 first-round picks you got at 27, 29. There you go. That you got Kyrie Irving in LA, all due to the stuff he was going through. Because who is gonna? You think the Knicks gonna give up what they was gonna give up for Donovan Mitchell? Like, I'm hearing the Knicks talking about they're gonna give up 3 first-rounders for OG Anunoby. Like, I'm starting to get nauseous. You know, it can't go down like that. Not like that. No, I'd rather them do it for Kyrie. It's like they'd rather do it for OG than Kyrie. In my humble opinion, we haven't got there yet. But I mean, the Knicks, that would be silly. I think he need to get the hell out of New York. Me selfishly saying the Knicks, but I think he need to get out. New York is one is welcome for him. He got to get out of the city of New York, in my humble opinion.
Flight, check it, man. Kyrie's like my 3rd favorite player in the NBA, so I'm not hating on no level. I'm not hating, bro. I love Kyrie. I love what he is, even his faults. Because Kyrie Irving is a ball player, and I respect ball players. Right. But Kyrie Irving full of shit, though. At the same vein, I got to keep it G. So for a full of shit dude who you don't know where his loyalties lie, you don't know where his passions lie, because they change by the 6 hours of the day, right?
That's right.
Are you really gonna put that much investment in this dude? Because the Knicks, I mean, I heard the idea float out for Jalen Brunson. I'm like, if we just playing NBA, well, I'm just saying, if we playing NBA 2K, of course I would trade Jalen Brunson for Kyrie Irving, but you don't know what you're getting out of this dude.
Brunson bringing a culture. Brunson changing the culture.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know he's gonna be
no
committed.
price on that.
You can't put a price on that for a flighty guy. It's like, I mean, what do you really? So let me put it in terms that the audience can understand. It's like you out there, you go to the club, you meet this dime piece. You see a dime piece, but you done seen it with the homie. You done seen it with the other homie. You done seen it with the other homie. You got your girl. She may be a solid 6, but she look good. At what point do you be like, man, I'm gonna take my chances on this dime who hop from arm to arm, or let me mess with shorty who she ain't as good looking, but I know what I'm gonna get out of her? At what point do you use that logic?
That's a tough call, hoop jargon. You know what I mean? So where is he going?
Man, I think it's LA or bust, bro. And I hope it comes over here because it's gonna be goofy. Because I personally hate
star-studded.
Oh, bro, I hate this.
The tickets going up.
Huh?
The ticket price is going up.
Yes, I mean, so that's, you know what's funny?
Hey, hoop jargon. Hey,
hold on one second. Hold on one second before you ask me that. It's gonna be one. It's gonna be basically a culmination of what we are as the Lakers. That we bring in a name, but it's not gonna fix what our problem is. And our problem is everywhere on the court. It's not one guy. It's not Rui Hachimura. It's not, you know what I'm saying, a dude who don't rebound over 4 points, 4 rebounds a game with Rui Hachimura. That's not going to solve what we have problems or deficiencies at 6'8". It's not Kyrie Irving who, 6'3" point guard / 2 guard who just doesn't really play defense, very unhappy in a lot of ways. And we're going to bring him in at the halfway point and fix us? Absolutely fucking not. That's not how basketball works. So that's where my conundrum is with this whole thing. But go ahead, Vern.
I'm gonna let Bex get into it with the Lakers, because he's more closer to the situation. Go ahead.
I understand. Oh, No, go ahead, Uncle Vern. Is Uncle Vern there?
No, no, go ahead, Dex.
Oh, I was.
I was gonna say something at first, but it's all right though. I was gonna answer the hoop jogger when he had asked that Dex. Just 1 second. I was gonna answer the hoop jogger when he asked that question. What could he expect? You got to expect a lot out of Kyrie because you paying him a lot. You got to expect a lot out of Bronson because you paying him a lot. But you get certain things out of Kyrie that you can't get up out of Bronson. So you have to know how to be able to settle and deal with both of them. Bronson, one thing about Bronson, he wants to be there. Kyrie might not want to be there.
Absolutely.
Brunson ain't going nowhere. They got to keep
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Bronson, he's there. He's stayed. He's a staying. He got stay power, so he's good.
All right,
Agreed.
Dex, go ahead. I love you, Dex.
Yes, sir. I love you too, bro. And shout out to everybody that's on the panel. And shout out to Unstoppable. Help is on the way. I feel you, Unstoppable. But nevertheless, that I feel that I feel Hoop Jargon on this one, as far as his hesitancy of really embracing this acceptance of Kyrie in purple and gold. But I just think that the pendulum of Kyrie's work will show and prove with his association with LeBron James that his mercurial attitude or disposition, LeBron would be very impervious of. I don't think it would affect LeBron because LeBron know how to level the playing field with Kyrie, allow Kyrie to be Kyrie, but hold him accountable when he's on the court. And that's what the thing was when Kyrie was younger that he wasn't willing to accept. But then as he got older and separated from LeBron, he missed some of that aspect of that energy that LeBron exuded outward and he was affected by and somewhat motivated by. And he humbly apologized for his pestilence in the Cleveland Cavaliers uniform under LeBron regime. So he already have confronted that situation mentally and verbally, that he knew he was in the wrong and LeBron was in the right as LeBron was pursuing his level of greatness. And Kyrie was pursuing his level of greatness as well. But like I said in the early portions of the stream, is that Kyrie was conflicted. Honestly, not defending him, but when you really look at it, he was conflicted because Kyrie is a Kobe guy. And he's here helping this guy supplant his boy, Kobe, by participating with LeBron as he pursue his greatness and become arguably the GOAT or the king. And that was conflicting to Kyrie. And so at the same time, it's conflicting. And then LeBron's trying to school him in how to be cordial, how to be level headed. And he was like, dude, come on, man. You can't close games. And so those type of things, yes, it hurt it. But LeBron built up a wall. And that's why I said LeBron would be impervious to a lot of Kyrie antics. And Kyrie's trying to build his brand to the point where he can be close to being a billionaire on the court, as LeBron is the only player in history to ever done that, to become a billionaire with a basketball in his hand on the court in between the lines of 94 feet. And that's impressive. And Kyrie was right there alongside LeBron for numerous of years. But he wasn't looking at himself in that aspect of building his brand so he can be a legacy after basketball and be financially free when he decides to put up those basketball shoes and endeavor in business affairs. I think that's what's one of the reasons why he wants to get back into the good full grace of LeBron and be in a Laker uniform, also be close to Magic Johnson. Listen, what's the coach over there? What's his name again? Does Phil? The Lakers assistant coach.
Phil Andy.
Yeah, him. Yes. Him and Kyrie got tight. You know what I'm saying? They do charity work together. So there's a lot of things go on behind closed doors that Kyrie's like, you know what? I just need to get closer to the things that I'm interested in now in this phase of my life as I get older. And if I can align myself with LeBron and be in a Laker uniform, Zach LaVine is probably thinking the same thing, and be in the company of LeBron in the Laker uniform when he breaks Kareem record and hopefully get into a championship game, a title game, or even winning the NBA title in the same year he breaks Kareem record. That will be folklore forever. And this new crop of narrators, of NBA pundits, are pushing
We
for
got breaking
LeBron to
news.
surpass.
We got breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. News is out already on Kyrie Irving. He is being linked to 4 different teams, ladies and gentlemen, led by the Los Angeles Lakers, the Miami Heat, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Phoenix Suns. I stated this earlier that some of these teams was on his original list. You know, the Knicks are not there. I believe he wanted to get the hell out of New York. That's really what it is. You know, he got to get out of New York. It has to happen. That's crazy that all this is in place. So there goes some of your competition, Dex. So you can continue. I just wanted to get that out to the people.
That's not competition, Flight. Not one of those teams. The only team is competition to some degree, and that's based on prime real estate and
Dallas.
location. Hell no. South
Listen,
Beach.
Luca just said that he need another star. They're
Ain't
gonna have to
Oh
nobody,
get
yeah,
ain't
one.
nobody like Kyrie playing with no Luca. You can forget
I
that.
think he will, Dex. I think he will,
No.
man. He's a higher gun in that situation, and
So
Luka
you
need a
think
higher
that's where
gun.
he headed? You
No,
think
I'm just
that's where he
saying.
headed if he get
No, no,
traded?
Come on.
no. I think he's going to LA, and I'm
That's
not
what I
happy as
think
a
he's
Lakers
going.
fan. I'm not happy as a Lakers fan. It won't do shit for us.
I know you're
But
not. I know
yeah,
you're not, but it's okay.
well,
I
because
understand.
Dex, but we'll check it, Dex. It's almost like we like names. We don't like to fix our problem. So Kyrie is a name. We like names in LA. Now, if Kyrie came and signed a long extension and we built the team in this image, okay. But I know they're bringing me into a
Different.
higher gun to see if they can kind of usurp that Cleveland Cavaliers spirit from 2016. And like I said, bro, it worked that 1 year, but that's when Bogut went down, right? That's when Draymond did that stupid shit and got suspended, right? And they came back and won from 3-1. After that, they got their doors blown off the next 2 years. So I've seen enough of that. With an older LeBron, like now what you said with AD is in the mix now, cool. But how many games we know we got AD for? It's not gonna fix anything, bro. We still can't play defense. We still can't shoot 3-pointers. It's not gonna fix anything.
Kyrie shoot 3-pointers.
Okay, that's one dude, but as a collective, we don't shoot threes
Rui.
well.
What about Rui?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Okay, put Rui out there, but so
You sleeping
now,
on him.
but
Dex
Rui,
came along.
well, check it. Rui brings another problem. He can't play defense. He doesn't rebound. So when we talking about like series where you you gotta key in on stuff you're good at, we still don't rebound well. So okay, you say the big man stretch 4. Okay, I'll meet you there. Rui has the ability to do that, but he gonna give you 12 points a game. That's who he is. So it's not gonna move the needle, in my opinion. He's an undersized big. It is what it is, bro. The Lakers situation is trapped. So if you want to try, no problem. We got a first year coach who was our 6th choice. So I mean, let's be for real.
Uncle Vern, what you say?
Of Uncle Vern. Where Uncle Vern at? Shout out Unc, man. This
Yeah,
is this a quick.
shout out to man.
The Uncle Vern didn't get a chance to talk. But
Hey,
he'll
no,
be back.
no,
There
I'm
you
good.
go.
Like, hey, Flight, hey, no, I'm in the background. I'll be listening. Flight,
I
man, don't be
know.
tripping like that. Man, I don't be tripping like that. I told you, but I be trying to get up on things, man. There's always something going on in the background, man. I'm still old yet. I
I
got a little bit
already know.
still though. I gotta make it there, so I gotta burn something. I told you I'm gonna go up and be like Dex one day. Tell him, Dex.
I
Hey,
Well,
appreciate you
we
stroking
trying
me with
right
that
around that
colorful
porch.
God brush.
I'm telling you, boy. Hey, I'm impressed, man.
hey, shout out to Dex. Because me and Dex are wordsmiths. Dex, Dex, give me a run for my money with the wordsmith in this.
Yeah, hey, listen,
I always like
listen,
to hear
hold
Dex
on. I'm
talk.
gonna speak on Dex behalf.
Good looking.
I'm hearing a lot of Dex lingo running around these YouTube streets, and I'm telling you, homage will be paid, and you will be held accountable for stealing slogans.
Right. Right. Hey, and another thing, now to keep on going with that though, Dex, I'm gonna tell you something. Dex, I'm gonna tell you, I mean, this is what you is, man. You for real though. A lot of people be when you young and stuff like that. and people are notice about you, they'll notice about you that like you a go-getter. And that word go-getter is another word that they use. It's like what is it? Encouraging and stuff like that. It's another word that I can't think of it that brings to my mind though. It's like you try to find not necessarily to be excellence, but to know the right out of it. And it's what is it? Man, I can't think of it right now, Dex, man. But it's like what is it? Aggressive. It's aggressive. What is it? What is it? What is it? Aggressive? Um um not obsessive, but it'll come to me, Dex, man. But I was like that when I was young, but I never did carry it through. But I see it in you like that, Dex, man. It's a
Persistent?
word, man. Huh?
Persistent?
Persistent, Dex. There you go. Persistent, Dex. Persistent. There you go. Persistent. And you have to be like that, Dex, because if you don't, in order to be persistent, you have to know what it is you're going at and you're going after.
Absolutely. You gotta be
Right.
very intentional. You gotta be
Yeah,
intentional.
and focus, Dex.
Absolutely.
See, and that's why I had always wanted to be like that in life, but I fell off. But when I fell off, I already knew what it was I was falling off to. I was falling off into the wrong way. You understand me? The basketball days and the high nights. That Cooley had type atmosphere, that mindset.
And I'm gonna say this, Vern, to build on your point. But one thing I try to do, you learn. I've been doing YouTube over 2 years, almost 3.
Yeah.
And man, you just gotta be unapologetic about who you are and what you believe. And you know what I'm saying? If the wave with you, when the wave with you, cool. If they not, they not. One thing I don't believe in is being flip floppy. Like you stay with your conventions. And so me and Dex are 2 LA fans who sometimes we got different things fundamentally, but it's a level of respect that's always there. And Dex don't say his point, I'm gonna say mine. And it's not like no, because you know how goofy these streets can get, man. It can be like, very tempestuous and like people going back and forth and disrespecting people. Like, and I think that's the part I just don't want no part of no more with YouTubing. So I appreciate guys like Dex who always try to look at things from the pragmatic standpoint, where he always try to factor in all things. Okay, so here's my assessment based on everything I see, and I think that's to be appreciated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And Jay, and why I got you on track, I wanted to ask you about this because you out there in Texas and everything. Prime Time is out there in Texas too, man. And he doing that thing out there, man. What you think about that brother doing out there? I know you don't feel too good about him leaving that HBCU like that, but what you think about him doing as far as his condition and what's going on with him now? I don't know if you've been keeping up with him, but I've been keeping up with him though, AJ.
Well, I'm in Cali, actually. I'm actually about to go link up with my guy, Coach Talvin Hester, man. He coaches at Louisiana Tech.
Right.
Recruit at some schools, one of which is going to be in Compton. So I'm actually heading to Compton right now. But I mean, me being a SWAC guy, yeah, absolutely, man. Prime, listen, man. A lot of people gonna think what they think. I've been a SWAC alum since 2007. So I graduated from Prairie View A&M University. I know the SWAC back and front. I played basketball at Prairie View. I coached basketball at Prairie View. I know the SWAC. What you're seeing now is people just sour grapes. People, when a guy that great leaves, it's never going to be, under good terms. It's just like when a girlfriend leaves you, she's like, oh, man, you got a small little dick and you can't have sex with the damn. It is what it is. Like, that's just sour grapes.
Right.
So everybody talking about, Prime was just a grifter. He's just a swindler. They're talking about his son, not a great, when he never lost a SWAC competition. It comes with the territory, bro. It's emotional based commentary. So I hate the fact that he left, to your point.
Yeah.
But I respect what he is because I know what he is. And Prime just gonna be a guy, he gonna succeed at everything he does in life.
Right, there you go. There you go.
Won't understand that.
I got you. I got you. I appreciate that. I like the way you put it in proper perspective, and that's a real good perspective because that's how you have to look at it. You have to be encouraging of that young man's success. You understand me? Because of the fact that you want the best for him. You don't see no reason. You don't have no incentive in your heart, your mind, to go against. You know what I'm saying? What he's doing because you should see no bogusness in him. Because if I'm gonna tell you something, AJ, a lot of reasons that people that he gave, but he really didn't give too many reasons for going out there. But a lot of reasons that one reason that he didn't give Well, because his family. He never used his family as being the reason for going out there to do what what he was gonna do. His family, to a certain extent, was taken care of anyway, even with that well-off thing, with their brand. And now that brings me right back to this is what I'm saying. Why I brought it up, AJ. I'm gonna tell you, AJ. We be recognizing, we be seeing how these grown men out here, and they be taking their brand and they be taking their children along with their brand, and they be doing the right things with it. Well, especially with Floyd Schofield, the second Junior Floyd Schofield Jr. and his son Floyd Schofield the third. You understand me? And then you got LeVar Ball. You understand me? And LeVar, and then be honest with you, I see it right there with Prime Time got that from. He got that from LeVar. It's keeping it all in the family, keeping it all in the brand, and keeping it all in the business. I'm telling you, that's thinking ahead. And I like it when a man, I don't care what color he is, think ahead like that and use his first. That's why that's what I be getting up out of that. I'm 63 years old, bro, and these people younger than I am. And if I'm impressed by it, I don't see why nobody else shouldn't be.
Well,
I'm
Vern,
sorry.
if we being for real though, a lot of people don't think with the family mindset though. They think individualism. So if
Yeah.
you got to understand. So man, I say this all the time. Anytime I'm speaking to somebody, I choose to understand and be upset.
Yeah.
So you got to know that most people think from an individual standpoint, or not having a strong father presiding over your situation. So there's going to be natural pushback, especially in our community, unfortunately.
Right.
And so you're going to see it across the board. Like, generally speaking, a lot of us don't like a strong man presiding over their progeny, which means their kids. And so you're going to get natural pushback because why is that? Because we didn't see that in our own household in general.
Right.
I personally did. My dad had me in every sport. I played soccer, I played baseball, I played basketball, and then I got tall out of nowhere, and then basketball took over, right?
Right.
Hoop Jog, repeat the last thing. You said that people don't, fathers don't like what? The kids? What'd you say? I missed the last part.
Oh, I said people generally don't like a man presiding over his progeny, over his kids. Like, it's like, oh, well, let the kids be this. Let him do this. Let him be his own man. Like, no, somebody got to teach him how to be a man. You don't come out learning how to be a man.
Right. Yep. I mean, I tell you what, it take a village to raise a farm. Everybody can play hand, but the problem is when you allow somebody to do that, oftentimes the other person who you allow to do that, they try to usurp the father, and that's when you completely get your wings clipped. That's especially for me. I don't let nobody fool around with my kids. I let them do their thing, but the day they think they want to go over my head, they're gonna get a rude awakening right then and there. Not an hour later, a minute later, right then and there.
Right.
Let me ask you this, Blake. Let me ask you this. As a dad of two boys and a girl, right? Yes, are you saying that for the duration of your information, or are you saying that to a certain extent, and then once your information has expired, you will not allow them to go to another level of information?
No, that's not. No. That's not true. I would allow them to get all the information. It's just I'm talking about sometimes I was just talking about the flip of the coin when somebody presiding over your kids. Sometimes the person you give them, let's say, okay, I let you mentor my son. You hanging out with him two times a week. You might come to me one day telling me what the hell, start talking like you his father. Things of that nature. I mean, it's just sometimes that it can get tricky, but I think it all works out as long as everybody got a mutual level of respect for one another.
Well, I'm gonna say like this, I'm gonna land the plane with that sentiment like this. I'm not a father, but I've been a teacher, I've been a coach, I've been all that. So I understand family dynamics pretty well, even though I've not done it personally myself. So I don't never tell no father what they should or should not be doing. What I do see is successful fathers, they tend to be more hands-on, and they guide their kids because our society tells them, oh, when you turn 18, well, you can be sovereign for your parents. Yeah, I mean, can you make it that way? Absolutely, you can.
Some places 16.
Yeah, 16, you know what I mean? So, but what did the numbers say? The numbers say the more advisement you have, the better. Now, you may not like it because society tells you, oh, you're grown up at 17, 18. And we know damn well that the panel can all confirm. You're not no goddamn grown up, bro. You're not a grown up at 22. It's a lot of things that you still need to learn, and so it will behoove the kid to still learn from an upstanding father. And it's just so funny that this society tends to not like that so much and just say, oh, you're overbearing. when we see in the Indian community, they call them tiger parents. Them kids succeed. At the end of the day, they succeed. They become doctors, lawyers, engineers, you name it, right? In the Asian community, like my girls, Black and Japanese, bro. In the Asian community, they really hard on the kids, but it's like it's out of love. It's not the fact that I don't want you to be an individual. But listen, if you go into this world with too many ideas in your mind, it's like a crapshoot if you make it. And I think that it's good, fathers who give their kids the blueprint as much as they possibly can, because generally you get better results. Just by the numbers. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, how do you look at that age thing, like the age requirement, like 18 to 21, like that? What is that like? Age? Would you say will it be an age of what? Responsibility? If you 18 years
That
old,
doesn't mean nothing for me.
Yeah.
As a parent, that doesn't mean nothing for me.
Yeah.
And I raised a girl, so that's a little more difficult for me to convey a message to the female counterpart of our species than it was a male of our species, because I am a male. So raising a girl 18, 21, that didn't mean nothing for me, because I still knew and explained to her and expressed to her and espoused to her, or however you want to term you want to use, that there's still people out there that's smarter than you that can manipulate you.
Right, exactly.
So I always try to trend in her life all the way through, even right now today, even though she's been with her guy for what, damn near 12 years or whatever, and got 3 kids. I still trend in her life. You follow what I'm saying? Because as I believe as a parent, as my parents were to me, is that they always going to be my parents, and they always going to be a step ahead in experience.
If you don't mean me interrupting, do you disrespect the husband?
No way.
Okay, there you go.
I don't get into their business, because like I said, me and her mom had a long-term relationship before we broke up, right? And her mom married. I never married her mom, but her mom married. It moved on. You follow what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to not have overbearing parents in a relationship of the child once they reach the age of puberty, where they can go to a adult jail. You feel me? When you qualify to go to an adult jail, you have to pursue these young people differently and have them understand the consequences of their behavior.
Yeah.
And hopefully they choose the right way. But you just got to inform them, regardless if the medicine is bitter or not. Give them the medicine, allow them to be treated. You understand what I'm saying? And so I didn't want that in my life, because even though I was young with her mom, I just thought I was equipped to take her mom to places that her parents couldn't take her, which I did. You understand what I'm saying? And so I give that same opportunity to her dude to be able to take my daughter to places that I couldn't take her, because the love is different. You know what I'm saying? Her love for you is different from her love for me, because her love for you gets to the point where she'll bear children for you. Her love for me can never get to that point where she bear children for me, because that'd be weird. That'd be strange. That'd be illegal. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And these are the things that I share with her. You have to understand and break down and differentiate what love is to me as a man dad, and to your dude as your lover.
Right.
And we have these type of conversations, because I know her mama ain't finna talk to her that way. You know what I'm saying? So there where it won't be no conflicting, or when I suggest something, you won't put in your mind that I'm trying to outplay your dude, or reduce your dude to a lower level than me. So that's why I always explain to her, when she started having boyfriends and was getting really into boyfriends, and then when they start moving in with each other before the kids came, then I have to explain to her the difference between our love and the different way you hug me than you hug him. You know what I'm saying?
When did you have that conversation? At the beginning of puberty?
Yeah, when she was around 19. When she was probably around 19, when I knew that her love life would be more serious. Because then when you start thinking about moving in with somebody, now you got to pay bills, and things got to be, people got to be responsible and accountable for bringing in income and things of that nature.
Dex, I don't want to be funny. I ain't trying to be funny, but don't you think that was a little bit too late?
No. Because reason why it's not too late, because it's in the moment. If I told her at a younger age, I don't know if I was going to be around to couple that information. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know where she could have moved out of state, with her mom and went somewhere totally different, but it didn't work out that way. So when she got to the stage where I saw that it was being serious by being boyfriends or girlfriends, now it's time to have that conversation so you can be aware of how this thing unfold as you see it, not trying to reflect on, did my dad say this or did my dad say that? Did we ever talk about this? Because a lot of times young women tend to forget when they start getting in love with people outside of their family.
Right.
Well, I would say this. I won't tell no father when the right time is because you definitely know your kid. I think with this newer age of kid, it's kind of accelerated as far as like bad decision making and love and relationships. I would probably advise like around 14 because these kids are just so expedited. But again, I ain't in no in no realm to tell you what you did was wrong. I think again with these kids in this generation, it's too much stuff at their disposal. So I think it would benefit them to kind of learn this stuff quicker because we get in this era where baby mamas at 15 is common. You know what I mean? So to kind of explain to them like love and relationships and longevity and responsibility, the earlier the better because in short verse, these kids are having sex a lot earlier than we think or that we want to, take, to understand. Well, not understand, but to accept. And so to listen to the audience, it's best to get on them as soon as you can because they know about all this stuff that we didn't know at 14, 13. Like they damn near veterans because, I mean, you can blame it on pornography or just, network television where it's so open now or curriculum. There's curriculum now teaching kids sex ed in like elementary school.
Hey, Jay, no. Okay, age 13, that was a 73 for me. I was 13 years old going into junior high school then at that time. Okay, I was learning, I knew about sex. Okay, well, I'm learning and knowing, growing up and knowing about sex, but I knew then at that time you wasn't gonna go out and mess with no girl, no woman, nothing, because you get abortion, it's illegal to get abortion. Abortion was illegal then. Then 74, abortion was legal. They turned abortion to be illegal then. I said, well, then now I can mess around with all the women I want to. I get 18 years old, I can mess around with all the women I want to and stuff because you get abortion, you get abortion, you ain't got to go out of state to do it. That was my mindset. And then I didn't think about the fact that, look here, look at all these kids that's going to be aborted and all this other stuff, how these people is going to take this and use it as a costume jury. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm pregnant. I got to go out there. You know what I'm saying? Just like, I got to do this. I got to go get the abortion. You know what I'm saying? Doing that kind of stuff. How they was going to take it to a brand new level now. I didn't think as I was a child, just say, well, I ain't going to worry about getting no kids because I get her to go get an abortion. But I didn't realize, like I'm saying, now at the age I am now, and even as I got older, that that's not the way to go. That's killing a whole lot of people that could have been there, that could have done something. It's using it and taking it to a very new level now. So when they talk about the abortion clinics and all this stuff, and in politics, I try real hard not to get involved in it because I see the good and the bad behind it.
And that's why I feel that we should not abort the mission of Kyrie Irving going to LA, because I believe if Kyrie Irving reunites with LeBron under the banner of LA championship folklore in their legacy brand, it'll be a very auspicious move for Kyrie in his future. And the collective body of work, if you was to comprise it as a compendium, it would read throughout the pages the different variants of Kyrie attitude and aptitude towards his branding. And now that branding has become an integral part of a marriage with sports, in entertainment, it only serves him conducively that he reunites with LeBron and pursue a championship, as LeBron has all the media, not all the media, but most of the media cheering for him to be the all-time leading scorer and a champion. The publicity that comes with that
He said it right there.
will be
He got all the
unmatched.
media. He said it right. He got all the media.
He said it right.
So he's up there in LA.
It don't matter where LeBron at. LeBron got the media on his side.
Yeah.
The media
Where you go,
overwatches
it don't
LeBron.
matter.
Come on now, be for real.
So he just happened to be in LA because of a lot of off-court issues that he is dealing with, and his family wants to be, close to the beach, even though he lives in Brentwood. But nevertheless, I'm quite sure he probably have a vacation home somewhere near the beach, but nevertheless,
LeBron is here to. All right, I'm sorry, Dex. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I was just basically saying, nevertheless, he has become the magnet of success because he became a billionaire in between those lines, that 94-foot parquet floor, while dribbling a basketball. He didn't wait till he retired. So he do and most definitely have the blueprint to success in the current nebulous of the NBA.
Well, I'm going to say this. I respectfully disagree. He's won 4 championships in 10 tries. He ain't got the blueprint of shit. LeBron James has the blueprint of media manipulation. He has the blueprint of, now, overall success. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Overall, I'm not talking about championships.
Yeah, championships-wise, no, I don't agree. People have done it way more proficiently than LeBron James. It's not even a debate.
Right.
So you've been to 10 of them, you won 4, which means you lost more than you won. That's not efficient. But at any rate, now again, so I'm not even gonna harp on that. My main point is, it's not enough help. Like I said this at the beginning of the year, bro. I was like, let Kyrie come to the Lakers. It's not gonna fix our problems. And Rui Hachimura as in the wings, you're not gonna fix this. Because reality is, and I'm gonna lose some of y'all. The game has passed up LeBron James. Now I know he's putting up gaudy numbers. I get it. I get it. But the way he plays now is not conducive to winning championships in this new current NBA. That old model of you just give him shooters and LeBron will do all the heavy lifting. No. Will he still get his numbers? Absolutely. But because what you see every time, well, not every time, but most times with Lakers games, down late in the game, we can't execute, we can't guard, and we shoot too many threes. That's what you see infallibly over and over. Or we blow big leads and we can't maintain them late. So it's a more of a derivative of just a bad overall composition of the team. That's what I see with the Lakers. Because every time I get out, because I ain't gonna lie, I hate this team. I hate it all the way. But, I'm still gonna watch my team. And every time I watch, I'm like, here this shit go again. Westbrook going rogue. No feel for pace of the game, and he's just going and trying to run through, either do that little Sonic the Hedgehog mid-range pull-up or run all the way to the rim when you know damn well you can't finish the rim like that at this stage of your career. I see LeBron James taking bad little hits, jab, three-pointers. I see LeBron James just when he feel like he got fouled, what they call it in sports world, it's next level mode. Like, okay, it's transition now. Look at the referees doing the hands out, the palms out thing. Bro, the play has moved on already. I see too much of that. You can't fix that with Kyrie Irving. That's all.
Yeah. I say the same thing, Hoop Jog, and I'll be getting on everybody. I did that yesterday. We was flipping from Hornets to the Laker game. It's crazy. They both was on at the same time. So I'm like, okay. I flick it to the Laker game. The first thing I see is LeBron crying to the referee. Hands out, hands to his face, his head. He trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It's too much of that. And they do need to stop. But it's tough. You're right, though. There's a lot that goes on. See, if that was another player, they would have took him out the game. He do cry too much and the play's going on. Like he's completely out the play. The other team don't care. They'd have moved on. They're running the play on you. You know, so that you're right about that, Hoop Jar. Good point out.
Bro, and I'm just saying, bro, it's not hating. I'm just saying, as a basketball purist, I'm watching this. I'm like, oh no, that's not good enough. No, that gets you beat. That gets you beat. And I'm not even gonna, harp on, the foul there. It was a foul. LeBron James should have gotten that foul against the Clippers. I'm sorry, the Celtics. It was a bad call. But in the same vein, I'm thinking, bro, you've got a laundry list of favorable calls your entire career. And this dude acting like, his damn mama died. I'm just like, bro, get freaking real. And I get it. It's a big game. That's a tough game to drop when you're trying to ascend. Because right now, I think we're the third worst team in the West. But we're like 2 games outside of like the 6 or 7 seed. That's how close, as far as parity is concerned, that the West is. But it's bad habits are getting us beat. It's not refs cheating. It's bad culture getting us beat continuously. And that's what I have issues with. Our culture is bad. Our effort is bad. It's like for us to win games, we got to just fire on all cylinders, meaning basically you have a puncher's chance. And that doesn't bode well as far as championship implications. That's what I mean.
At the same time, all those negatives that you did point out, if you bring Kyrie over, I think he will address issues that needs to that need attention. And the reason why I'm saying that, is because the Lakers have continuously proven and have continuously failed to close out games in the winding seconds. Now that AD is back, that will help a little bit because the last time AD was healthy with all of the team and we didn't have Hurtsamura, whatever you ever say his name is. In 10 games, it was 8-2, and that was the best span the Lakers had since the beginning of the 2022 season. So now we have more ancillary pieces, quoting you, that's serviceable. And you have Thomas Bryant playing the way he's playing will only complement AD because AD don't want the middle. He wants to play power. And if you bring Kyrie over, Kyrie is a finisher. He can close out a game. He can go on a 6 to 10 point run with that type of talent on the floor because the defense will be responsible for each and every man, and there will be no double teaming, and you can't just scour or scurry aimlessly trying to stop one or the other player, because then that's open lane for LeBron, it's open lane for Thomas, it's open lane for Russ if he's happened to be there closing out games like he was in Indiana, open lane for AD, and it's too easy. So if Russ can get AD the ball in these type of moments, you don't think it'll be easier if Kyrie was to be a part of that, getting the ball to these open men as they flush down to the basket vehemently to destroy who's ever up underneath the rim?
No. And I'll tell you why. Because what you're saying is not wrong as far as late game situational play. Kyrie is who I would put my money on out of that whole staff, with the whole roster that we have currently. I'm with you there. Facts. My ultimate problem is Kyrie, again, his defensive deficiencies, they're going to be pervasive yet again. Like, it's always been the case. So, and Kyrie being cantankerous, you don't know what his mentality is going to be. This dude ain't went to no team and fixed no team. If we're being honest, when he left and went to, and I'm a fan of Kyrie Irving. He's my 3rd favorite player in the NBA. When he went to Celtics, did he fix that situation? No. When he went to Brooklyn, did he fix that situation?
No.
It's debated that Spencer Dinwiddie was probably a better point guard overall for team dynamic than Kyrie Irving. Debatable. I'm not saying he's a better player.
Pause for just 1 second.
Go ahead.
Now, if he goes to the Lakers hoop jargon, would he need to play that role?
What role?
To fix a team.
Yes, because that's what you're asking him to do. We're the 3rd worst team in the West.
No,
yes.
We're not asking him to fix the team. We just asking him to complement the team. because his presence will close some of the chasms that the Lakers have with spreading the floor. This is why
I agree
Rui
with that. I agree with that. I
was a
agree with that.
somewhat of a good piece to pick up, even though, like I said, I was sleeping on him because I didn't really know his 3-point game was like that. Because his 3-point game is like that. I didn't realize that about Rui because I don't watch Washington Wizards
The Wizards.
basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Kyrie, and if they happen to have Rui, with LeBron is shooting the best 3-point percentage probably of his career. And that could be by
Well,
default because he don't have that first step like he used
you
to.
said
So he relied.
who's shooting the best 3-point shooting percentage?
I said LeBron.
Is he?
He's up there this year.
I think he's shooting low 30s, and he's shooting too many goddamn
Well, he
threes
never
too.
was really a 3-point shooter though. I mean, he was
No,
never
he's been awful.
But I
But
think
he's
this is
shooting low
better
30s.
this is better than what he have done in yesteryears, based on the fact that he's slower and his step is not there. That explosive
I don't
first
think
step
that's
is
true,
not there.
Dex. I think he's shooting from his prime. I think he's shooting a lower percentage. I think he's shooting one of the best on the team, but I think it's low 30s, and I think his shot attempts are like way too high.
Okay, go check it out. Go check it
Last time
out.
I looked. Yeah. I
Okay,
want to
yeah,
make sure
check it
I'm
out.
being accurate. So yeah, so
Right.
fair enough. I don't want to argue with you in bad faith.
Right. Just check it out. We'll see. But so
Yeah.
he relying more on that based on the lack of explosiveness that he used to have, even though he's still explosive, but not
Yeah.
as explosive. So
In moments, I agree.
that complements him not clogging up the lane for Anthony Davis by default because he respects him that he's not as fast as he used to be with these young Thundercats out there. So now with Kyrie, Rui, Thomas Bryant is shooting a really good 3-ball right now to be a big man. You follow what I'm saying? That game has improved since he came over from Washington. So and then when Lonnie Walker gets back fully healthy and get reacclimated into that, if he's happened to be there, because they might ask for Lonnie Walker, but if he happens to be there, Austin Reeves, we already know what he can do from the line, from the arc. So they
Agreed.
have players to space it out if they're healthy, because Austin is out still too. And with Kyrie, the way he dances with the ball and the space that he have, it could be a 2-man game with him and KD coming down the stretch.
Well, a few things. You mentioned him not to fix, but from a contractual standpoint, they'd have to get rid of Russell Westbrook to make that happen. And,
Oh no, it's definitely he's a centerpiece. He's an epicenter.
I do not like Russell Westbrook at all, so I'm good with that. My only point is, overall, where's the real firepower? We got aged out guards, we got aged out small forwards, and we got AD who healthy.
Yeah, that's the
he's an
firepower.
MVP.
Healthy.
Yeah, healthy. He's an MVP candidate. Not healthy. AD is at best a DeMarcus Cousins 5 years ago version, right? So I question. So let me bring it all back. Our success is contingent on too many things having to go right. When it's this last 2 years we've shown it's not going right. So you think Kyrie's gonna come and just flip the switch when I'm seeing 2 years of bad basketball? It just is what it is. We're a bad basketball team with big names. And I don't think Kyrie Irving shuffling him for Westbrook is enough. Is it a net positive? Yeah, I'll meet you there. I agree with that. But him coming and changing life for this team, this hapless Lakers team that, like you say, some days Thomas Bryant gonna give you a monster performance. Then you're gonna turn back into Kevon Looney, basically. Then you got Kendrick Nunn. Well, he's gone now, but he'll give you a 20 piece, and then he'll give you a 4 piece with damn 12 shots. Then you got Pat Bev. He's just defensive savant, but then he gives you absolutely nothing anywhere else. He can't hit corner threes, right? So it's like this team, everything has to click properly. And it just reminds me of when Cleveland, I said this in moment, y'all, when they lost to the freaking Warriors in 2017, I was like, listen, for them to beat the Warriors, they got to click every game. In one game they clicked, they beat the Warriors by 40, I think was the total. And they got a gentleman sweep that series. So the margin of failure is way too high for me to bank on that populace of people to work. That's ultimately what I'm saying. I don't believe it. Now, can I be wrong? Absolutely. But I will say hoop jogging takes on YouTube age well. You can look down my catalog of videos. My takes age well. And I get in front of things quick because I don't want to be like, the quarterback on Monday throwing the ball around. Like, oh, yeah, man, Dak should have did this. He should have did that. Like, no, I'm going to say it on the front end. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, a lot of us, we're opinion based, so it's no big deal. Shout out to Jessica. Kyrie just tried to scare Nets to get an extension because if he goes, KD might want to leave. Yeah, Jessica, we highlighted that earlier in the stream that this could be a ploy for Kyrie. This could be some skullduggery to get the Brooklyn to come to the table sooner than later and address his issue. Yeah, to address his issue. And if they don't, Brooklyn would tip their hat and Kyrie can get a jump start on what he needs to do to close out the rest of the season going into next season. So at the same time, Kyrie and Westbrook both have attractable contracts because they both expired at the end of the season. And that could be something that teams might want to take on, an expiring contract, and be able to move on and use that money for other things that will really help their team. But Kyrie is a different monster when it comes to this. Kyrie wants what Kyrie wants. And Kyrie does things, albeit maybe awkward, to get what Kyrie wants. So I don't justify him doing what he's doing, nor do I condemn him doing what he's doing. All I'm saying, if you're gonna do it, Kyrie, make sure you land in the purple and gold. That's all I'm saying. Get out to the West Coast, chill on Santa Monica Beach, and do your thing, man. You could be as mercurial as you want to be in Santa Monica. Santa Monica is filled with those type of people who come and go as they come and go. So LeBron knows the formula and how to deal with Kyrie. You catch him while he's coming, and you let him go while he's going. That's the formula. And LeBron is a master of the game when it comes to treating Kyrie psychological flaws. And it's okay. It's okay.
But Dex, honestly, though, how much success has that LeBron, Kyrie, Irving dynamic really had, though? So you think that it's going to replicate here?
Well, okay. Now, see, that's a monster question, and it's a loaded question at the same time.
It's easy.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to narrow this gyroscope. Yeah, I'm going to narrow this gyroscope and take it from a kaleidoscope. I'm going to say this, my good friend Hoop Jogging, brother, comrade, fam. Cleveland, small market, major success. But that in LA would be an ultimate disappointment. You go 10, you win 1. You know what I'm saying? That's the ultimate disappointment.
I'm with you.
So I'm not going to merge the two, but in Cleveland, ultimate success. That's why those two are legendary in that city.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And look what it did with David Griffin. We know David Griffin shouldn't be in the NBA right now for what he did with the Pelicans. But since he got that on his resume, that Cleveland, it's hard to beat it. What he did with a small market.
Agreed.
With or without AD?
Yeah. Well, my retort to that, Dex, would be like, I don't judge on no level what Cleveland do to LA standard. Like, I just don't. I'm a LA fan, bro. I'm spoiled. Call it what you want to call it. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm spoiled. Call it what you want to call it. I'm a Houston Astros fan. And as of recently, I'm spoiled. Call it what you call it. So I don't judge, success, quote unquote, by the standards of loser franchises. So if you're going to bring him here just for us to kind of be in the mix, no thank you. Too old. And I know we're in a world where 31 is too old, but he's too old. LeBron James, 38, way too old. AD, 31, too old with a 50-year-old body. So no, I'm on the school thought, blow this shit up. That's where I'm at on this Lakers team.
Hey, can I? Okay, okay. Now look, hey Jay, look here. You had mentioned, I know, because you know what you're talking about. You said they main two problems. Even by them getting Kyrie Irving, that's not going to address their problems. Their problems are defense and also LeBron taking the ball up out of LeBron's hands. So they ain't gonna change neither one of those by bringing Kyrie in. To a certain extent, it puts the ball in Kyrie's hand, which give Kyrie a little bit more offensive responsibility, goes along with what Dex just said. But when it comes down to that defense part, if you got enough offense, you ain't got no worry about no defense. Offense gonna take that defense taken care of anyway. Same example. The Lakers were a good defensive team because Caruso and other little guys they had when they won that last championship, that bubble championship. But the main thing there was a threat, and they was real hard to beat because AD was acting a fool. Now, if you got AD and Kyrie, forget LeBron. He could be at home with the worst cold in the world. But if you got AD and Kyrie, man, you got a whip, B. For real.
Hey.
And they got so much offense. They got so much offense that they ain't got too much worry about defense.
Well, Vern, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. What you saying fundamentally is not wrong, but from surveying the landscape of where both players are right now, if with AD and Kyrie, what we got is two names. That's what we got. We got two names.
Proven.
Well, no, health-wise, AD ain't proven shit. AD can't stay on the court. So damn being a beast, or I forgot the terminology you said, right. I just want him to be healthy. And we don't see that here. So that's all I'm saying, man. Listen, man, I want the best for the Lakers. I want the Lakers to be champions once again, holding that Larry O'Brien trophy up. That's what I want. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I see a championship product that's one piece away. We're like 4 pieces away to being a championship product, in my opinion. So Kyrie don't move me. And I said this on Vern before the year started. I was like, all these people saying Kyrie to LA, that's not going to fix what we have going. And goddamn, I look like Negro Damas.
You right.
I said this before the season.
All
before
right.
the season started.
You right if you'd have said that about Westbrook. But I wouldn't say that about Kyrie, though, B. Not out there with LeBron anyway, because like Dex said, he played with LeBron. They got to prove they got a history.
They got a history of one championship when they came back from 3-1 when Andrew Bogut went down and Draymond Green got put out in the 5th game 5 over him punching up at LeBron, walking over him like it's his boy, right? So, I mean, it's not real success really, by Lakers standard. Now, by general standards, yeah, I'll meet you in Dex there. I think that's true. But I mean, I'm a Laker fan, bro. Like, it's championship or it's what we talking about.
Well, they could get out the West with that move, hoop jogging.
They sure can.
I don't think so. I think we can compete. But
no, I think y'all get out. Y'all could beat Golden State.
Golden State won't be up there, bro. Bro, the Nets are. I'm sorry, the Nets. The Nuggets will be up there, bro. The Grizzlies will be up there. Who play hellified defense? Who have better young guns than us? Who else is up there at the top of the West? Hell, the Pelicans gonna wear us out in a 7-game series.
Hey, wait. Wait. Slow down, AJ. Are you pissing in AD or you pissing him out?
I'm pissing AD is what he's always shown. That I don't
come
know.
on, see that's what I mean. Whoa. Is you pissing him in or you gonna piss him out?
I don't know. Can he tell us that? Can AD tell us what he gonna do? I don't know. So Unc Vern's put in context. Somebody asked me about what's Dak Prescott gonna do against Brock Purdy. I'm like, shit, I don't know. Whatever Dak Prescott show up, because Dak can show you 400 yards, no turnovers, and then he can show you 200 yards, 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions and one sack. Fumble recovery rather.
Who's jogging doing a lot of trauma to bring a Dallas Cowboy situation to a Kyrie Irving meeting.
No, I'm just giving you context that I don't overextend my opinion.
Them Dallas Cowboys are traumatized.
So, it ain't even that. I don't overextend my opinion, bro. I'm not gonna speak for when I see inconsistency to speak on consistency because I can't. I don't see it.
Like you say, Dex, the best ability is what?
Availability.
Availability. That's
Okay,
A1.
Dex. I
And,
Yeah.
see.
and
I
AD ain't available.
can't argue with him when it comes down to AD. But all I can do, man, I look at his past tense, man. When you talk about AD, you talk about he have to talk about him in the category of his past tense because you can't say what he done for him lately because he really ain't done enough for him lately. But we come back to the past tense when he was there, man. He acted fool.
He
Hey,
did in the bubble. Well, even before the bubble,
No, this year.
2019.
No, this year.
Well, yeah, this year he played his ass off. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But to lament back to on Vern's point, before the bubble, man, and here's when we were the best. When LeBron, he diverted to AD first, and it showed favorable results.
right.
AD is being the primary guy was the best situation for us. Now, to LeBron's credit, hell, how often can how can I rely on this dude? I don't know what I can't defer to him too much because he ain't on the court.
Right.
So I understand that school of thought too.
Right.
But I just don't see overall. I don't see consistency with this team. So
Right.
I'm not going to give these dudes no stamp of approval on no level because I don't see it.
Yeah.
That's it. Not hating. It's my team.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah. With the acquisition of with the possibility of them getting Kyrie Irving, that'll be real good because of the fact that, like I said before, that get LeBron James, not only just LeBron James, that get the Los Angeles Lakers another threat on the backcourt. You understand? Because Westbrook ain't no threat. Actually, he's a liability.
I agree with that.
Okay, so
I agree with that.
you know, you one thing you can't say about Kyrie Irving that he's a liability.
I agree. I'm
Okay.
just saying, ultimately, if you get a triple beam balance scale out, and you put what he is better than Westbrook at, which is shooting, which is decision making, I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, at the end of the day, Kyrie can't play defense. At the end of the day, Kyrie has a very cantankerous spirit, meaning you don't know what where his mind is. I don't think it's a net positive in the sense of going to win us the level of championship level quality that we basically are asking for overall.
Yeah.
So meaning
what
that's not going to fix our
problem. No, it won't. See, like you just said, you can't get past that defense part. And we talking about the NBA, bro. They don't play defense in the NBA. So
Exactly.
that right
Who
there,
y'all can think when he played, how he was knocking people down.
Huh? I'm sorry, Dex.
I was just trying to insert a joke.
Yeah, that leg you standing on, I'm not balanced on it anyway. They don't play no dang defense. Who play defense in the NBA? But Alonzo Ball, and look what he is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I think you predicating a lot of this on different eras of basketball and associated with the Lakers because I'm in the wheelhouse with Uncle Vern on this one. I mean, defense is not where these players hang their hat on. And that's obvious. You got a few players in the NBA that will insert themselves and be aggressive defensively. You seen what happened last night with Dylan Brooks and Donovan Mitchell. We all know that Dylan Brooks hangs his hat on trying to be a defensive stopper. In recent years, he hasn't really been as good. So he resort to foolish tactics to try to throw his man off. We see Patrick Beverley, the same thing, resort to foolish tactics to try to throw his man off because the defense of Powers is not there as it once was, and referees are not even respecting that to some degree.
We got breaking news involving the Brooklyn Nets. Rival teams have far more interest in Kevin Durant's reaction. Teams are monitoring Kevin Durant right now, involving an impending trade. So Durant is involved now, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell is going on in Brooklyn?
Didn't I say that earlier, that KD was going to insert himself? I said that in the early parts of the stream, but some of you guys might have missed that, is that Kevin Durant is on the sideline watching this with a side eye, seeing how they going to treat the situation with Kyrie, and it could be Durant follows right after because the commissioner met with Kevin Durant and Kyrie earlier in the season, in the off season to try to bridge the chasm between the ownership and the players, and have the players agree to hold up to their contract. And they did. And so Kevin Durant came out of that meeting agreeing to go forward with the Brooklyn Nets. And there could be some kind of, and I'm confabulating a little bit right here, or conjecture. It could be that the commissioner just wanted the season to go smooth for the first half into the All-Star break. And then once you get to the All-Star break, then we go ahead and pursue your interests. And it's starting to seem like that is happening. And now this thing is becoming full circle all over again. And Kyrie cannot find himself out of the media circuit. You feel me? And it's all been in his head that he wants to be away from the Brooklyn Nets. He wants to go west. He grew up on the East. He's still on the East. He was in Cleveland, played in Cleveland on the East. So now he wants to go west, and hopefully that's greener pasture as his dog tooth starts to grow. Kevin Durant is watching this closely. And if Kevin Durant wants out, it won't because of Jock Vaughn. Like me and Flight had a little scuffle earlier about the presence of Jock Vaughn and his impact. It's not because Kevin Durant have already gave Jock Vaughn the blessing. That's how Jock Vaughn got the job. Let's keep it a buck right there. If Kevin Durant feel that Jock Vaughn wasn't qualified, then Jock Vaughn would still be an assistant. So he helped Jock Vaughn get his promotion. And he already stated publicly that him and Jock Vaughn is on the same page. So this got something to do above the pay grade of Jock Vaughn. And I think Josiah has a lot to do with it. So it's something going on behind the scenes that hasn't surfaced yet. And I'm quite sure it's a whole lot of baggage that needs to be open. And we need to look into it and dissect it and turn it over constantly and find out there's something going on with this that they want to explode or implode. I would say implode during Black History Month. Because Kyrie is a very navigational type of player that he does stuff cryptically. So I'm thinking that it could be something with the ownership that they ain't liking, or something wasn't promised properly, or should he been extended or by the All-Star break or near the All-Star break, and that hasn't happened. So he's stepping and crossing those lines right now. This could be Kyrie assertion to the Brooklyn Nets ownership. We already know Kyrie's mercurial. We already know that. We know that. That's understood. But this petulance coming in at this point in time, Black History Month and trade deadline, something wasn't given that was promised.
Hold on. All right, so Dex, I'm going to call cap on that Black History line thing, because Kyrie is saying that we're Israelites, so I don't think he limits his blackness, which I don't begrudge him for at all, actually. I think that the term black is very, very vague. And it's basically what the government says what you are. Because black, if we put this in practical terms, a Haitian person doesn't consider himself the same black that we are as what they call ADOS, which is African descendants of slavery. African people don't consider themselves the same black that we are. So
FBA, right? Is that what you're referring to? FBA, Foundational Black Americans?
Well, FBA and ADOS, yeah. The same kind of synonymous terms.
All right.
So and Kyrie strikes me as that exploratory realm of again, because we Black Moors, quote unquote, used to run Europe, whether most people know that or not. So it's just a lot to that, and Kyrie strikes me as a guy who's kind of tapped into that type of thing. So I don't think that he would do it for the generic sense of Black history to now be rebelling. I think he's doing it based on the trade deadline. That's it. He knows, because he's a smart guy. Like Kyrie Irving, I would never set him short. Like, he don't know for the most part what he's doing. Now, may he have a slightly off scope of things? Yeah, for sure. But I don't think he does anything out of quote unquote ignorance, meaning that he doesn't believe in what he's doing. So I don't think Black history is attached to what he's doing, ultimately speaking. But
You went out, HJ. HJ went out. We can't hear you.
You
Yeah,
talking to
I'm
me?
not. Yeah, there you go. Now you good. You good.
What up, Dex?
Yeah, HJ went out. Well,
do it
I think
first.
he misunderstood what I
So
was
how
saying.
serious? Go ahead. All right.
Yeah, you're going in and out for some reason. I guess it's just the area
Now
that
I'm
you're
saying,
in.
yeah. Well, I'm over here in Compton area. But now I was saying, like,
In
who
the
really
house.
knows what Kyrie really means? What he says, because he
I
says
know.
things.
Right. Good point.
He says things, that seem to be. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. But you're
yeah.
going in and
Okay.
out
So I
again.
mean, who knows what he really means? So, I'm sorry, man. I'm just like put up in the Compton area.
Right. But basically, yeah, we don't know what
So
Kyrie
can you
actually
guys
thinks.
hear me?
So that's why we kind of alluring and we're extending unfounded interpretations.
Unfounded interpretations.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
all
It's damn
good though.
impossible. It's impossible to know what this dude really means. So you're gonna go off KD's response. So it's almost like, okay, yeah, all right, Kyrie, cool. So how does that affect KD? That's what people are doing right now, in my opinion.
No, no, Thunder. I'm not saying he's doing it because of Black History. I'm just saying he could be using Black History as a cryptic background to thrust himself out there in the mainstream and get this type of information circulated so he can use it as fuel to launch him to whatever destination he really desires. And we all think that it's LA.
Well, I don't. I don't know. Brooklyn might have something to say about that.
They better give him his money. That's the only thing that's gonna shut him up.
Uh,
They better extend him so they can have the ball in their court. But I don't think they trust Kyrie to extend him. See, that's the point, and Kyrie knows this. Kyrie is looking for his future to be solid. He's looking for some comfortability. He don't want to be out here dangling like a carrot on a string and end up being a gun for hire. Because if we look at right now, Kyrie's journey is Cleveland, Boston, and Brooklyn. That's three teams. And even though LeBron had a similar journey, but with LeBron's journey, he won championships. Kyrie ain't won no championship in his journey on the solo act. Now he can cement a large portion of his legacy if he reunites with LeBron and LeBron breaks Kareem record, and at the same time, in the same season, get deep into a playoff run and hopefully to a title game, whether they win or lose, get to another title game. And if he wins, you can kiss everything goodbye. He'll be hands down to go. Even
right.
though he have less championships than Michael Jordan, but he have a compendium of records that goes along with some of that shortcoming, and those records can cover for some of those shortcomings. And he would just be one championship behind LeBron, but then he breaking all these records.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I mean, one championship behind Michael Jordan, not LeBron. One championship behind Michael Jordan, and LeBron be breaking all these records. So the argue about the GOAT will be very slim if he does that. Because this is the captain we talking about. Because the captain was known as the Iron Man of the NBA, right?
Yeah, I would
Because he
say that.
played till he was 42 years old. And when LeBron got over the captain is that LeBron came in right after high school where Kareem played 3 years at UCLA. So those 3 years at UCLA, LeBron didn't have to endure. He went straight to the NBA. So he
Right.
got 3 years over Michael, 3 years over Bird. You know what I'm saying? 3 years over Magic. Because he came right into the NBA to build up his statistical categories. So when you really look at it, there you have a legitimate argument for the greatest Iron Man of all time. Look, because LeBron's not 42, but yet he's getting ready to break Kareem record. And if
Yeah,
he can get a Kyrie Irving, he probably can play until he's 42.
right. Yeah, because Kareem played over 20 years.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, so did, like you said, he came in '68. I was in California. See, I was in Richmond, California at that time. We had just moved back to Chicago. Yeah, because I remember him when he was Blue House City out there at UCLA. We used to see their games on. We used to watch their games on. When I was a kid, we used to watch their games on TV. Yep.
It doesn't matter, Thunder, if he get Pippen legacy. Pippen doesn't have a bad legacy. Pippen just making a lot of kerfuffle because of the 30 for that what was that thing? Last Dance. Yeah, the Last Dance. Because the way he was represented in the Last Dance. But everybody know if it was for Pippen, Mike wouldn't be who he is right now today. Mike even said that.
They wouldn't have won them championships like that neither. They wouldn't have had a stable backcourt.
Because Pippen is the only person that remained with Michael Jordan throughout his championship runs. Everybody else came and went. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Pippen was there as a solid rock.
Yeah.
So Mike knows how important Pippen was. So Pippen shouldn't be listed as a aspersion. You know, his name shouldn't be synonymous with an aspersion or synonymous with something to be castigated. Pippen is a strong Robin, probably the best Robin of all time, huh? What would you think?
Sometimes, you know, in society,
him, Magic, or Kareem, however you put Kareem and Magic, who's a Robin, who's the Batman? Pippen is right up there with one of the best Robins of all times. That's not a bad legacy, Thunder. If you really look at it.
People would doubt it because it goes right back to with Pippen and that Kukoc. What's the name? The coach put more trust in Kukoc than they did with Pippen. So that made that question mark because Pippen ain't as good as it or more valuable to the Bulls as far as Pippen is concerned. The Bulls don't hold him as valuable. They hold Kukoc more valuable. So who was the man? Kukoc, because they won championships with Kukoc there also.
Yeah, but that was because of the absence of Michael Jordan.
Right.
But with the presence of Michael Jordan, Kukoc was relegated to third wheel.
Okay, and Dex, I look at it like this too. Okay, Dex, I ask you this question: how many championships did the Bulls win in a row when they had Michael Jordan? I mean,
they won 3
from their first one to the to the
they won 3.
The last one.
They won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And then he came back. They lost to the Orlando Magics.
Right.
And then he won 3 in a row again.
There you go. But he did have that loss though, right?
But not in the championship game. He had the loss in the playoffs because he came back in the second part of that season. Remember, he didn't start that season off.
They didn't make it to the championship games. And then I remember a lot of them. I remember a lot of them losses in the playoffs too. That goes right back to the Detroit Pistons and everything else when they couldn't get over that hump. What got them over that hump this time? Was it Pippen? Was it Kukoc?
No, Kukoc wasn't the first. Wasn't Kukoc. Okay. What got him over that hump was the maturation of Scottie Pippen. Okay. They would have got over a little earlier, but Pippen had that migraine.
All right. Oh, okay. He had the migraine against what's the name of them
the Bad Boys.
Who?
The Bad Boys.
Right. Against Detroit. Yeah, right. Against Detroit. Okay, okay. I get it. Okay, bet. Okay. They couldn't get past that there. I get it. I agree. Because Pippen did turn on there. And he started picking up weight. He started lifting the weights and started getting bigger in his chest. And he wasn't playing scared no more. That was against the Knicks when he came up out of that. Yeah, I saw that.
So So yeah, so that I mean, it is what it is. But I just believe that Kyrie is an integral part of Brooklyn, and this is why Kevin Durant is watching from the sidelines, even though he's in injured mode,
Right.
to see how the Brooklyn is really invested in his situation with them, as far as retaining Kyrie and extending Kyrie and moving forward with Kyrie. Because the Brooklyn Nets right now are sitting in the Goldilocks zone. See, that's why I said it could be a ploy early on in the show. And then I start, adding other things on. But originally, when you look at the Brooklyn Nets, they sitting in the Goldilocks zone. They the
What do you mean
fourth
by that?
seed in the East. The Goldilocks zone is the best zone to produce life, right? Scientifically, that's what they say. Because it has all the elements that you need to produce life. So
Oh
when you're in
yeah,
the Goldilocks, so
with the planets and they position towards the sun. I
yeah,
understand that, but
yeah, yeah, in the
why you
universe,
say
yeah.
that? Why you say that about Brooklyn? Why would you say that about Brooklyn?
Well,
KD is hurt. What is
well,
this?
it's not.
What is this timeline?
Well, it's not about Brooklyn per se. It's about being in that zone, that Goldilocks zone, which is the top 4 seed, because that gives you the opportunity to host a home game. I mean, home series in the
Okay.
first round of the playoffs. And most likely, when you host that home series, you have an opportunity to advance. So in that Goldilocks zone, if you're in that Goldilocks zone, you have an opportunity to advance, because that's what the Goldilocks zone means astronomically, with advanced life being able to develop in that zone. So you
Right.
advance, I'm just representing it to that synonymously.
Right.
So if Brooklyn is in that Goldilocks zone, that's the best zone that you can want to be in. And if Kyrie and Jock Vaughn has the Brooklyn Nets in that zone, and now Kyrie is requesting a trade, it's not because of the Brooklyn Nets play. That's what I'm trying to get at. Because you where you want to be, especially without Kevin Durant. You were the 4th seed and could be the 3rd seed with a couple of win streaks. And you guys have been playing under 500 basketball in the last 10-game increment. You're 4-6. So you still in the 4th seed and you're playing below 500 basketball. What more can you ask? That's success. So that's auspiciously suspicious. You know what I'm saying? You got success, so now I'm suspicious why you want out, because it has something to do with behind door number 1. You
Right.
feel me? Not with the coaches, not the players, but beyond the coaches and players' pay grade. It has
Right.
something to do with that element of his sojourn with Brooklyn.
And
The reason why he probably went out.
it's not opportunity, huh? Because it's a good opportunity to do it. Because what? It's the what's the name thing is coming up now. You can do the trade thing. The trade thing is coming up now. This is the right opportunity to do it. It's not the opportunity deal, huh?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's advantageous for Kyrie to request it at this moment.
At this time, you still that X?
I'm here with you, huh?
Yeah, I get it because he said his advantageous. What is advantageous for Kyrie at the time? Right. Matter of fact, this is the right time for him to be doing it now. Whether KD is down or not, if he wanted up out of there, now's the time to do it. KD can still be playing right now. Whoa, I'm telling you,
Listen. Brooklyn is over. It's over.
I'm already knowing. I don't know
What
about
you think? LA gonna get one of them.
Hey, look, I don't know nothing about no Goldilocks zone, but I know that Goldilocks zone, they sit there, they finna get real far away from the sun, because the sun is what's shining on their butt right now. You understand me? Because right now they gonna be shining right now because KD gonna be out for a minute, and I don't know how long that minute gonna be. He might not even be back for the rest of the season. Yeah, all right. and just like Kyrie said, I'm not finna front the ship. He ain't finna do it.
Listen, man,
He went out of there anyway.
It's funny how both of them want to get to Phoenix. Don't you see that? Phoenix will give up some people. I think I think Kyrie gonna go to LA, and I think KD going to Phoenix. Don't call Listen, pay homage if it happened like that.
Right. Hey, Flight, I'm gonna tell you something too. That when they be throwing them names out there, they throw them names out there for a reason. They get the competition chance enough to build their money up and give their thoughts about getting them or not. You understand me? That's all it is. Because you want to throw names up to people you got animosity with, or you don't want them to never go there too. So them be the first names, the first team you say, yeah, well, I'm thinking about Boston, San Francisco, and I might go play baseball out there in Arizona. And go out there and play with the basketball team too. It ain't no telling, but I'm just saying what I'm saying. It's like you want to throw them names up there anyway. But really,
you know what's so crazy? They just recruited. Kevin Durant was just went on a recruitment tour for the WNBA, getting the New York Liberty players. He was an advocate for Breonna Stewart, Jarquel Jones. He said the summer gonna be so fun. Da 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 da.
Right.
And he ain't even gonna be there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Hey, how long they expecting KD to be out? Like you know,
he should have been back. I mean, maybe listen. You know, Kevin Durant knew this was gonna happen before it was gonna happen. Don't think Kyrie stopped Kevin Durant.
I was under the impression that he had another Achilles thing, another Achilles chair or something.
Nah.
What was the hamstring or what? You know?
I'm not 100% sure what was his injury. I got to double check. Like I said, I think it might have been a hamstring, but I'm gonna double check to be 100% sure.
I bet. Don't even.
Shout out my man Chuck Moore. Shout out Anaheim. Salute to everybody in the chat. Peace and love to everybody, man. It's breaking news. Shout out my man Basil Carpenter. Salute to the whole entire chat. Everybody that's listening on the go, on the run, at work. You already know what it is, man. This is a wild day. We got an action-packed night, ladies and gentlemen, here at Flight Sports. Make sure y'all buckle up. You know, it's going down. Be on the lookout. The Hornets play tonight too, as well. Yeah. So this is wild. Were you surprised that Kevin Durant is involved now with the situation?
No. Who big you asked to be that?
Yeah.
No, I ain't surprised anything they going on out there in Brooklyn. Gonna be involved with KD. Yeah, anything that's going on out there in Brooklyn gonna be involved with KD. Also, you know, I'm gonna ask you this, like, you know, like I said before, we be talking about the face of the NBA and all the other stuff. You know, they just automatically just erase the KD name up out of it being the future face of the NBA because KD might be around longer than LeBron James. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, it's like he's a foregone, conclusion that he ain't gonna be that. I think they may be having animosity, but I don't want to talk about that now. Yeah, they be holding animosity. But yeah. You still there, Flight?
Yeah, I did. I said that they're going somewhere between Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. They're going somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, they go somewhere with it, but they're gonna be apart. They're gonna be together. That to a certain extent, it almost looked like that ship that sailed out there in Brooklyn. It just sailed a long time ago. But now Brooklyn got to do what? Get off the pot. They got to do one or the other. They got to do something. They got to, and I don't think they got right now. Kyrie put them in a position where they got to do something. They got to let him go.
No, there's gonna be a lot of let goes.
Yeah, if they smart, they'll try to get everything they can for Kyrie and try to get everything they can for Durant, because Durant gonna be leaving up after that. I'm telling you. If that's the case, then since they sitting in the Goldilocks zone, like Dex said, smart thing to do is get some real good players for Brooklyn. Use that to their advantage to get some good players, because they ain't gonna be able to keep these big names no more. Whether they going in bankruptcy trying to pay them anyway. Because that ship didn't sail. KD ain't happy and Kyrie ain't neither.
No,
they win no championships together.
They knew that. They knew that when probably like the first year or so into it, man. When they got James Harden, when he wanted to leave, and they got Ben Simmons, there's a wrap. Poor Ben Simmons.
Man,
all about him.
Man, look here, I'm gonna tell you something. Well, I'm gonna tell you, psychologically speaking, bro, nobody forgot about him. He forgot about himself, to be honest with you. It's just his game. Flight. Hey, Flight, and then it goes right back to what I was saying before, too. I'm gonna tell you, Flight, the NBA is getting weak. You know, right, especially this year. It's so weak. I'm just watch how the All-Star game gonna look. Can you imagine the All-Star game? It ain't gonna be nothing but a younger whole bunch of names you ain't never heard before, Flight.
I got a couple of names.
Well, I know it's gonna be some young ones a lot of people ain't heard before, Flight.
Yeah, Jaron Jackson.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's an all-star. I think they brought him in because of the record.
Yeah.
Usually when you got a high record, they get two all-stars.
They're gonna bring a whole lot of people in because of the fact that it ain't gonna be hard to make the All-Star. It ain't hard to make the All-Star team this year. That's my point. Like we had just said before, last year it was hard for a lot of players out of the East to get to the All-Star games because of the fact like that. You get to be playing time because of the Rosen and all the other guys were playing off in different positions they ain't supposed to be at. But that's not going to be the problem this year. The problem this year is going to be your favorite players. A lot of your favorite players ain't going to be playing. They ain't going to be want to try to take participate in it because it ain't going to be important to them. Durant, Kyrie, you think Kyrie going to be
stuff?
You think Kyrie gonna be playing the All-Star game this year? I'm more than likely. I know he's selected, but I'm saying
that'd be crazy if they's playing on different teams.
Yeah,
that'd be wild. Man, they need to make it happen, man. For real, man. The Brooklyn is over. They ain't winning no chip. They're excited to see things of that nature, but they're not winning. This is crazy. Like Kyrie Irving did this.
It ain't crazy. He was gonna do it anyway. I don't know why you should have seen that. You saw that coming, though. You see that coming up.
Yeah, so you think Brooklyn didn't want to pay him?
No, it's just the fact that he didn't want to be out there because he didn't see no future in front out there with KD out there in Brooklyn. It ain't no future in that. And he's seen better waters. You know what I'm saying? They've been sitting up there talking about that him and LeBron getting together. Now that talk is getting even stronger. So this ain't wasn't no surprise to a certain extent. Even when they didn't want to let even when they didn't want to let him go when he was going through that situation about taking the shots and stuff. And they said, well, we might was going to trade him off. Nope, we ain't going to trade him off. We're going to hold on to him. They can't keep trying to hold on to him. The man don't want to be there. He letting it be known he don't want to be there. Now they was trying to hold on to him because they didn't have to a certain extent they had another choice. He wasn't asking to be gone nowhere. Now he asking to be gone somewhere. And he making it at the right time, like I said, at the right time too. So I wonder who's listening.
You talking that talk, Uncle Vine.
Man, but that's what it is, though, Fly. I'm gonna tell you something, Fly. Look here, I'm gonna tell you, why you think they paid Russell Westbrook $47 million?
That's well, at the time he was an MVP caliber player. He waited till he got the bag to start regressing.
When he got to the Lakers?
No, not when he got to.
No, right, because he already covered that. Lakers just had to pay it up. I got you. But that's my whole point. They brought it. They didn't. Nobody put a gun to their head. Nobody put a gun to their head, Flight. There you go, man. They thought they was gonna get money on their return, man. That didn't work, Flight.
Yeah, no.
That's what it was. They invested in something. They didn't get the money. The money's back on their return, so they have to go another route. I think they're gonna get their money on their return with Kyrie, but they have to invest in that. That's another chance they have to take. And it ain't that easy. It ain't that easy to get rid of Russell Westbrook contract.
Well, you got to get somebody either do you a favor or you bring him into a situation for him.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, what about him going to Miami for something, you know?
Right.
Shout out Anaheim. He says, I think Westbrook is a dog. Mamba mentality just sucks. He's not playing good, though. Why we got to let him go, to be honest? No shit with Westbrook.
Sure. Well,
They trying to get him out of here. He's going to be the figurehead of any move.
Yeah.
They're not giving up LeBron or Davis. And he's been playing pretty decent lately.
Who, Westbrook? You said Westbrook been playing decent lately?
Yeah. Westbrook been playing a lot better than he has, since the beginning. In the beginning, it was crazy. It seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. Now things starting to slow down a little bit.
I mean,
LeBron taking more and more of the reins. That's really what's happening.
How many years he been playing in the pros?
I don't have it on him, but he got himself a nice career.
Yeah, well, nice long career. Now he all of a sudden picking it up now, Flight.
Yeah, the Lakers are picking it up.
Oh, with the Lakers, he picking it up. Right. I got you.
Yep. Make sure everybody hit the like button, subscribe to Flight Sports so you keep up to date with all the news updates involving this story as it breaks. Who knows where Kevin Durant will land? Who knows where Kyrie Irving will land? Somebody's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody going somewhere. So what's the best fit for Kyrie Irving, Uncle Vaughn?
Lakers, man. Lakers.
Over Dallas, Phoenix.
Lakers, man.
Was it Miami? I got to get the list. I got to see.
Lakers, Flight. Stop playing. The Lakers. Go out there with his boy. He been trying to get out there with it forever. What you want to do? Sit up, smoke signals?
Yeah, I want to see that now.
You and everybody else want to see it. Especially a bunch of Lakers fans, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Flight, that look like where it's gonna be at. But whoever paid the money,
Right. Well, listen, we got an action-packed evening. This was a breaking news report. We got Floyd Kid Austin Schofield tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at 10 o'clock Eastern time. You better not miss it. The champion will be here. It's Flight Sports TV. We got breaking news. We'll be back later. Shout out to Uncle Vern. You pulling up for Kid Austin?
Man, you already do it, Flight. I already pissed.
Yeah, pops coming through everybody. We got what I was gonna say was also we got the Hornets game as well. So we should be pulling up for the Hornets game within about another hour and a half or so.
All right. Yeah, that'll work.
All right, peace.
All right.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Like I said, Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.